There. The machine tells me that it went live. Hopefully, everybody can hear me. Who would have thought that I would be getting hate in the chat only because I said that Canada sucks? It's not that Canada sucks, it's that the lockdown in Canada sucks. Because obviously, the Canadian people don't suck, or the places in Canada. Although, right now, I'm sure it's real cold up there, right? I mean, I have at least two people here from Canada right now that I know of. And I don't know what the temperature is there, but I'm south of Canada and it's cold as hell where I am. I don't know what the temperature is outside, but I don't want to find out right now. It's too damn cold out there. But welcome everybody. Who's all here right now? Rebecca's here, Carmen's here, Shalena's here, KH is here. Perp was here and then he left, that son of a bitch. He just drops in, leaves his frickin' devil horns, and then immediately turns around and goes to some other dark corner of the internet. And he'll never be back. He'll be like, yeah, I came out there and I left a like and then I left. Why is it that I can see Janie Davis's comment in one YouTube chat but not in the other? Sort it out, YouTube. Not appreciating that. Unbelievable. There it is. Janie Davis is here. Geekicidal Tendencies is here. Diamond Knight 76 is here. Excellent. So, oh, lemon pie. I miss lemon pie. Would never want to miss the pie. Everybody loves pie. I mean, most everybody. And if you don't, there's probably some other facsimile of dessert that you like that's similar to pie. At least that would be my guess. Right? Oh gosh. The chat's moving fast already, and there's not even that many people here. Crikey. It's going like crazy. Oh, Janie Davis said, I tweeted you, but I don't know if I did it right. I don't know, Janie. I I went on Twitter for just a moment because I saw that I had a new follower, which was you. So then I did what I typically do. Well, I shouldn't say that. I didn't do exactly what I typically do because typically when somebody follows me on Twitter, I don't know who the person is ahead of time. So I just message them on regular Twitter. But since I knew who you were ahead of time, I decided I would go directly to the DMs because when I go to regular Twitter, then other people see those messages, and you never know what crazy people are going to show up when you're just trying to have a conversation back and forth with somebody on Twitter. Rebecca knows exactly what I'm talking about. She knows exactly what I'm talking about. We were having a conversation on Twitter, going back and forth about uh, Justice League, the Snyder Cut. And I was letting her know where I stand and what I thought, and she was doing the same. And then some random person showed up. I don't know how in the hell they got there, but they showed up. And they just start messaging like crazy. And I swear to God, at some point, they started responding to their own messages inside of this thread between me and her. I don't know why in the hell this person showed up. I don't know why they decided they felt compelled to attack me when I read through the messages. They were in the exact same position that I was. And I was like, wait a second. You said you're boycotting HBO. And then 50 messages later, which I'm over exaggerating, it was like 3 or 4 messages later, you say that you are going to watch the Snyder Cut of Justice League because you want to support Zack Snyder. I'm sorry, but those two things just do not jive in my world. Like, you either have to stick with your boycott, which I don't have a problem with. You can boycott whatever you want. I do not care. You can boycott me for all you want. It does not matter to me. But then don't come back and say, well, I'm still gonna just, this one time, there's this one exception that I can make because, Zack Snyder, he got screwed over back in the day. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but at no point did Zack Snyder ever get screwed over at any point. He didn't. It didn't happen. At the beginning of the Justice League that we have already seen, he said, or I shouldn't say that, you can read the credits and it says story by Zack Snyder. That's what it says, clear as day. And I'm sorry if I'm not keeping up with the chat. I know it's going like crazy, and I'm already on a fucking rant about ridiculous, I don't know, assholes on Twitter that just want to show up out of nowhere and think they know what they're talking about when they have no fucking clue. So if I'm not paying attention to the chat at the moment, I apologize. Anyway, you could do whatever you want with your boycotts, but all you need to do is stick to your guns. Zack Snyder did not get screwed over. He got paid to make Justice League. He's still in the credits. You can go and look at his financial statements if he would, allow you to, and you're going to see a giant payment from Warner Brothers or AT&T or whoever it comes from. I don't know specifically who it comes from, that he got paid to make that movie. And even if what they say, we only saw 10% of his work in the original cut of it, okay, that doesn't change the fact that the story is still his story. Joss Whedon didn't come in and change the story. Just because you show up and change the dialogue inside of a scene because the previous dialogue was terrible because you're trying to make it like Batman versus Superman, which was terrible. Like, that's what you're trying to do. This is the kind of movie you want to make again because it worked oh so well the first time. And then you have a tragedy, which, okay, that happens to people all of the time. And how much time do those people take off of work when their children die, when their family members die? Are they allowed months, weeks, whatever, to just get over the loss and they say, you know what, guy, we'll shut down this entire production. We will halt everything. All of these other people who work under you that also need a paycheck to support their families, they need to get paid. They don't get paid up front and be like, okay, now go make the movie. They're getting paid hourly wages to make the movie. I mean, I'm talking about the people running the cameras. I'm talking about the people that make the cameras run. Like, the cameras break down, you got to fix the camera. Okay, stuff like that. All of those people need to make money too, do they not? So you want to shut down all of this stuff for one man because he needs an undetermined amount of time to deal with his family tragedy? Okay, you can deal with your family tragedy for as long as you want, but that's your choice. The business still has to make decisions in order to keep everybody else employed. Okay. Like, I'm the only person here right now talking to everybody in the chat, so I don't have time to have a conversation with you, woman. I'm sorry. I know that you're going to bed, but you could have told me that before I started this. You don't have to yell at me. It's okay. We'll get over it. Anyway, that's my Zack Snyder rant. So now I can catch up with the chat, which I've fallen unbelievably far behind with. Oh my God. Like, I don't even know where I was at. I seen that Jamie Vick got here. Maybe that was the last point I was at. And then Janie Davis said they attacked you on Twitter. Does your Does your ginger show Twitter? Oh shit. Um, I mean, yeah, you can see that I'm a ginger on Twitter. It's the same exact picture on Twitter as it is on here, right? And then Rebecca said, yes, Janie Davis, the person even called PB like Amber Heard. Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I was like, wait a second, wait a second, wait a second. You're going to say just because I don't think that we should be shutting down production that's keeping dozens of people, and I don't know how many more because you got the ones that aren't actually working for the studio, like the people that bring the sandwiches in. They don't work for the studio. They're still employed. The reason they're making money is because they're bringing food there. Okay, so you got that type of stuff. Like, I'm looking out for everybody. I'm sorry that I don't necessarily care about one individual man and the fact that he can't deal with his personal emotions and put them to the side and do his business. Okay, you can't do that. And then on Twitter, the one example that I had, and I don't know, I have no idea what kind of man Zack Snyder is. Doesn't seem very manly to me, but whatever. That's not the point. The example I used on Twitter was that I wish I could remember the exact year, and it makes me a poor Packers fan to think that I can't. Anyway, I said that, excuse me, um, Brett Favre found out the day before a football game on the other side of the country. He had to go from Green Bay to Oakland, California to play the Raiders. And he found out the day before, as in he practiced all week. Life was good. He's ready for the game. And they fly out there. And then he gets a phone call out there. Like they're already there. And come to find out, hey, Brett, I got some bad news for you. Your father's dead. What did he do? They're like, well, nobody's going to be upset if he can't go out there and play football tonight because it's just a game. Okay, yes, it is just a game, but it is also his livelihood. And his livelihood at the time provided a livelihood for thousands of people all over the place. All kinds of people have jobs because of the NFL. So what did Brett Favre decide to do? He said, you know what? My father told me that no matter what your personal problems, you are supposed to go out there, be a man, and take care of business. So there's nothing wrong with going out there, doing your job, and as soon as you're done doing your job, right, Zach, as soon as you are done doing your job, you can break down on set with tears gushing down your face where nobody could even recognize that it's you. And people would be like, oh, well, at least he was professional while he was doing his producing and directing. He didn't have these breakdowns while he was working. He was able to keep it together. But he decided, you know what, guys, I need time. I just need time. So if you could shut down everything, that would be great. Well, Warner Brothers said, fuck you, which guess what? I got no problem with that. Other people need to make a living. Unbelievable. Uh, Nitro's gal too. Welcome. She said I was attacked on Facebook a few weeks ago. Yeah, happens all over the place. Like I have no problem being attacked by some whack job on the internet. I can handle it no problem. Which, if you would go to my Twitter a day ago, because I put the poll up on Twitter, which it's probably ended now, between me and Husky, who had the best voice. And sorry to tell you, Husky, I know you're not listening at all, but you definitely lost the poll between the two of us. And I shared it all over the place. Like I went into some group chats on Twitter and I was like, hey, people, can you share this around? And there's a link to the stream that we did together, just in case people don't know what our two voices sound like. Just in case, just in case. You just got to listen a little while. You hear me talk, you'll hear him talk. Life will be good. Anyway, yeah, I had no problem getting a text. So I put a tweet out. I don't know, it was like a week ago at that point, and I pinned it to it. And I was like, you know what, everybody? If you feel like you need to attack somebody on the internet, more specifically on Twitter, because I'm not on all of the social medias all over the place. I don't have time to jump from one to another to another. So I said, if you're going to attack somebody, how about you just find out if that particular person is friends with me first? And then once you found that out and they are friends with me, you can take all your vitriol and you put it right on me. You just bring it over here. You just leave that person alone because they don't need your bullshit. And I will deal with your bullshit because apparently you need somebody to be a target for you on the internet. And you can't just go out there and scream at the sky like all of the other whack jobs all over the place. Like you needed somebody to yell at. So that's what you had to do. So whatever. I don't understand it, but that's what people feel compelled to do. So I said, you know what? I will be your target because I have plenty of friends on the internet that they don't need to deal with that. They are out there to have a good time. Well, I'm not necessarily out there just to have a good time. I'm out here to entertain people, yes. And I would hope that everybody here is being at least somewhat entertained. I mean, I don't know. I've essentially just been rambling on for 15, 16 minutes, something like that. Went through, welcome a couple people, do a couple chats, and then, they spark a line of thought in your brain, and then boom, you're off like gangbusters, and then there we are. But yeah, you're on Twitter, you need to attack somebody, you come and attack me. And I will take all of the arrows that you're going to be slinging all over the freaking virtual internet, you fucking assholes. And none of you in the chat are these assholes that I'm talking about. Like, I don't know where they come from. I don't know how they're able to find the people that they find. It's so fucking amazing to me how these people are just kind of waiting, or I don't know, maybe they're just sitting there constantly scrolling. And then they're like, holy fuck, here's an opinion I can tear into. And then they go. They're like, bring your friends, bring your friends. Look at this fucking asshole. And I was like, oh, yeah, here I am. Here I am. Look over here. Look over here. Point all of your bows and arrows this direction, and I will flip you right off. How about that? How about that? That sounds pretty good to me, right? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure, because I haven't read it yet, that a bunch of people in the chat are saying, you know what, we don't want people to attack you. And I appreciate that. I could be wrong. I didn't make it to that. I'm still, gosh, I'm freaking 12 minutes behind on the chat because I can't stop talking. Unbelievable. Anyway, Carmen says, PB, what? No Husky? Yay. Oh, Carmen, that's freaking hilarious. And Rebecca said, it was just so not right. I was playing with PB, but I fully support him. I would even watch the Snyder Cut just to tease PB in Twitter. But what that person said to him was not okay. And then Janie Davis said, you okay? Or are you asking Nitro's gals if she is okay? I don't know. That chat was a little confusing to me, so I'm going to jump down to the next one. Okay? Does that work? Oh, Wildcard is here. Hello there, Wildcard. Janie Davis said, I hate what he did to you, or what he did to two of the greatest superheroes ever. Yeah, I feel like a vast majority of people hate what he did to the two greatest superheroes ever. And it doesn't even matter which one you put at number one and which one you put at number two, because every list that you ever look at has one of them at number one and has the other one at number two. I've never seen a list of superheroes that doesn't have Superman and Batman at number one and two. They're always at one and two. Hey, what's up, Ray J's World? He says, Joss Whedon is getting canceled anyway. So what? Yep. He's definitely, probably gonna get canceled. I say definitely probably because those two words go together real well, right? Definitely probably. He's probably going to get canceled. But I thought the same thing about who is it? Oh yes, James Gunn. I thought for sure. I was like, look at all of these terrible things that James Gunn said. Look at all the terrible things that he's posting pictures of. Who the hell has a to catch a predator party? Like that, I'm sorry, is not a joke. Secondly, James Gunn is not a funny person. Like James Gunn is no PB. Like he's not out there cracking jokes left and right. So when you have a to catch a predator party, I thought for sure I was like, oh, he's gone, he's gone. And then we read a bunch of stories that James Gunn gone from Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and I was like, hey, all right. And then 2 months later, James Gunn back at Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and I was like, wait a second, what the hell just happened? And I thought about it for I don't know a solid 3/4 of a second. And then after that 3/4 of a second was up, I was like, wait a second. At no point did he ever get fucking fired. They put out a press release that said that he was fired, and they saw how it went over. And, it went over semi decently. And then they were like, ooh, I don't know if the movie's going to do too well. So maybe, just maybe. Oh my God, how long has this son of a bitch been in the back?
I sat through this 15-minute
Jesus
rant,
Christ.
and I'm like, waiting,
Holy
waiting.
fucking shit. Holy fucking shit. 1109?
I'm like, yeah, and then you brought up Zack Snyder, and I go, fuck, I'm never getting out of here. It's gonna be literally 2 a.m, and then he goes, oh shit, wonder if Zod, and I'm sitting there dead in the back room because I have died of
Oh
old
my
age.
God. Oh my God.
Oh
Jesus.
man. While you were saying it, I wanted to talk because, like, PB knows I act like a dick. That's our dynamic. In case you guys ever wonder about us razzing each other, uh, if PB does not like you, he will not acknowledge your presence. So when he calls me an asshole, I know it's out of love, but anyways, I was trolling him like I do, and I kept on liking this person's comment. I wasn't really reading. I just thought he was on a thread, and I was gonna fuck with him. So I was liking your comment, liking their comment, and then you go, "Hey, guy, do you even know what this is about?" So I go back through and I start reading it. I'm like, "What the fuck is this nonsense?" Like the whole
Yeah.
Amber Heard thing. I was like,
No,
no.
so I didn't, I was like, what the hell's going on here? I was like, okay, blah, 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 blah. And then for whatever reason, I just happened to look at one of the more recent responses that he had, and I was like, 2 likes on it. And I was like, who is liking this stuff? And I clicked on it, and one of the likes was from herself. It's a woman apparently. I was like, I didn't know it was a woman. Like your name didn't give away that it was a woman. You didn't have anything in your bio that gave away that it was a woman. How am I supposed to know it's a fucking woman? I have no fucking clue. Whatever. So okay, cool. And then I see the other like is from General Zod. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, hey guy, do you know what you are liking here? Because you literally like something that impugned my integrity, you son of a bitch.
And then I went over
Hello,
like,
happy dinosaur. I see you
yes,
there. I see you.
I saw it, and then because at first when I see the thread, I thought it was a joke, and we were DMing back and forth, laughing about it because this is the funny part. These people think when you make your comment that you're actually angry about it, even though you put like the caps and things like that. They think you're angry, but we're sitting there in the back laughing about it. Like, look at this. Like, the biggest contradiction was that I'm gonna protest WB. Okay, I'm done. Fuck them. Fuck the Snyder cut. Okay, that's reasonable. But I gotta
Yep.
support Zack Snyder, so I'm gonna watch it. And I'm like, what?
Couldn't believe it. I couldn't. I was like, oh, this is a person that they're just on board with boycotting HBO. They're like, okay, uh, Amber Heard is supported by HBO, so I'm boycotting it. I was like, okay, well, that's where you stand. That's perfectly okay. All right, I understand it. And then I waited. I don't know how long it took before I checked it. It was like half an hour later, 45 minutes later, and there was like three or four more messages. And I was like, who is this person even responding to anymore? Because I haven't said anything. So I'm sitting there reading it. And it was like, Zack Snyder had a family tragedy. I need to support him. And I was like, I thought that you just said you were boycotting. Oh, yeah, I'm still boycotting. I was like, wait, do you not know what boycott means? Like, boycott is full stop, nothing. Nothing at all, period, ever. You give them nothing.
And when you look at what we say on the channel, and we've talked about this a lot, okay, are we angry with what Disney's done? Yes, but or any of these companies? Yes. Well, me more WB. I haven't watched Disney since the Corona thing. I haven't watched WandaVision, nothing. I was in the middle of that and I stopped. That was a hard boycott. I never subscribed to them, so I didn't have to worry about that part. But I'm not even going to give them my watch time. But now with this, have always said, yes, I don't like what they've did. Yes, I don't support that they have Amber Heard on Aquaman, and I specifically won't watch Aquaman 2. I'm not going to boycott all of WB because I know realistically for what I want to see, unfortunately, I can't commit to that.
This is what I would say about that. If you think that Amber Heard is the reason why you should boycott an entire company, to me it sounds like anybody that's doing that, you think that Amber Heard is everywhere in the company, in the sense of, we'll go back a little bit to the previous conversation on the last stream. If you have a problem with Vince McMahon, you kind of have to boycott the entire company, don't you?
Yeah, because he doesn't own anything. That's the thing.
Right. Exactly.
You the top you
right. Whereas with the Amber Heard situation, what the best case scenario to do is literally support everything WB does except the things that she is in, because that would show them that, hey guys, we still love the things that you do as long as this person is not there. I mean, can you imagine for just a moment, like, I don't know what the next movie is that is supposed to come out, so I'll just say Wonder Woman. Let's say if the world wasn't ending and Wonder Woman 84 made like $1.5 billion, right? Like, massive hit. It's doing great. Biggest DC movie ever. Maybe it's not the greatest movie ever, but monetarily, biggest movie ever. And then the next one is Aquaman 2, and she's gonna be in the movie. And the movie makes $50 million worldwide. And they'd be like, huh, what happened there? And then you have thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people around the world saying, oh, I really wanted to see it, but you put the devil in the movie, so I decided not to. I'll watch the next one, though, as long as she's not in it. Imagine that type of marketing campaign where you're still supporting the overall company, but curtailing what they can offer to you because you don't want those types of people either on the screen or working with them, period.
And as far as the whole cancel culture thing, look, my whole thing with it was, and why James Gunn is the example, because I saw Ray J's World bring something up about this and Wheaton and things like that. Ray J's, this is two very different things. James Gunn made stupid statements. I mean, you could infer something about his character, or it could just be he's demented and that's his joke. In either case, I felt like he shouldn't have said that shit because I have a daughter and fuck him. But that's fair. That's a comment. What's big about Whedon's thing is we're talking about sexual harassment, possibly abuse, some other allegations that are coming out now from cast and crew. And it's because now Buffy is at a certain point where those gag orders they have no longer stand. That's why all of these years later, you have people coming out and saying what they're saying, and it's not looking good. My whole thing with cancel culture is I'm willing to be fair. When it came to that James Gunn thing, even though I didn't like the statement, I didn't support canceling him per se. I don't support that kind of thinking, because when you start down that road, then you do have to say, okay, if I support them canceling this one person, I've got to support them when they cancel people, because that's what, I can't just support this person being canceled, but not this one, then it becomes a pick and choose kind of a scenario. And that's where we're in right now. My whole thought is it needs to stop, period. These people need to stop being judged in the court of public opinion. And if there is shady shit going on, then we need to go through proper authorities, not through the court of public opinion that can't do no actions, right? Right, PB? If you have someone being sexually harassed, which one is more effective? Hashtag cancel them, or, arrest them. Bring up charges. Like,
oh gosh, that's a tough one there. Oh, I mean, if we're talking about stopping it from continuing to go forward, I would say the handcuffs. But if we're talking about me being a weirdo motherfucker on the internet, putting my own mind at ease, then it's most definitely the hashtag. Like, don't sell these weirdo motherfuckers short. They love their hashtags.
did they hashtag like no one I've ever seen? And in your case,
like a canceling hashtag is not an appropriate style of hashtag. I can't get on board with that. They don't work in the way that you think they do. The last hashtag that I got on board with, I'm on board with it right now. It's happening right now. It's hashtag Depp movie night. It started 6 hours ago, something like that. It started at midnight in the UK. It's happening right now. That is a 100% positive hashtag, unless you are a fucko, right?
Yeah, unless you can't find yourself a Depp movie, which I refuse to believe that there's not a Depp movie in particular.
No, what I'm saying is the Amber Heard simps would be like, why would you want to be a part of that? You must be hashtag Deppanon.
That fucking ad. Oh my god.
I need to read this comment. Janie Davis said a long time ago, and she already answered the question anyways. I'm stoned and trying to convince myself that just eating the icing off my sister's birthday cake is a mistake. I mean, first of all, it would depend on what kind of icing it is. Second point, no, it's not.
If you ask the bitchy one, you ever have this situation, PB? Like, she will ask me a question that she's already got answered in her head that she's already going to do, but because she needs to, I don't know, drive me nuts, she'll be like, honey, do you think, okay, and it's a weird question, one of those, do you think In
Uh,
your view, do you think it's good for me to eat this Cinnabon? And you've seen my girl; she's in no danger of eating 100 Cinnabons and having repercussions. But I'm like, well, honey, I try to answer it neutral. I go, well, honey, it will depend on the last time you asked me this and the last time I told you this answer. And I said yes. So I'm going to go with no this time. And then she throws the whole, so what are you trying to do? Call me fat? And I'm like, fuck. See, this is that Star Wars, the Kobayashi test, right? It's a no-win scenario, no matter what my answer is. And then if I don't answer, she goes, oh, so what? You're not going to answer me? And I'm like, so I can't do the no answer. I can't do the yes. I can't do the no. This is how in the 21st or in the 30th century or whatever it is when Star Trek takes place, this is how that test was made. They took all of these
it's the
ridiculous
22nd century, guy.
There we go. We're so close to it that I'm wondering why we don't have spaceships. But yeah, thank you, Gigacidal
He
Tendencies.
doesn't make the warp drive until like 2060 something.
Well, get on that. We're getting close, anyways. But yeah, I feel like this is what they base that test on because there is no right answer. There is absolutely no right. And we have ladies in the chat. If you have for me a right answer to these questions, please let me know because I'm drowning here. Yeah. There's like no right answer to any of these questions, especially with food. And I brought it up because I just had this discussion before I left. She's like, should I eat the Cinnabon? And my only response was my escape. I'm like, well, look at the time. If I don't leave now, I'm going to be fucking late.
Hey, should I do this? And I'd be like, oh man, I gotta go. I don't have time for a conversation right now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Text me and I'll get back to you when I check it on my way home from work after you've decided what to do. There we go. Right? That's what you do?
Yep.
That's what I do.
I hope she forgets.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I need to bring this frickin'. Did you know this, Zod? I gotta bring this comment from Carmen up. Did you know this? PB, you're talking to your stalker. Did you know that? Because I said in the previous stream, I was like, you guys are talking about Twitter, putting stuff on Twitter. I was like, every time I go on Twitter, Zod calls me. I was like, this is why I have to stick to DMs because I can't be going on the timeline and posting stuff on the timeline because then he sees it and he goes, oh, he's awake and he's by the phone, so I can call him now, right? No, you can't. I'm busy, guy. Just leave me alone. I will call. You send me a text message and be like, hey, call me when you have a minute if it's before this time. And then I can message you back and be like, oh, man, I'm not going to be free until 2 minutes after that time. Oh, shucks. Jamie Davis said, you look beautiful at any size, my love. I think she's talking about me. Is she talking about me? She's definitely not talking about you.
My question was, what do I say to get out of that situation? If they had any good, there's some good ones in here too.
Oh, okay. You got this one.
Yeah. What do you think? I've tried that, Jamie Bick. I've tried that.
Doesn't work. Never works. Never works.
She goes, no, I was asking you what you think.
Right. I asked what you thought. You can't turn around and ask me what I thought. Geekicidal Tendencies answered your question. It's 2063.
Thank you.
That's
I appreciate it.
That is the year that it is. I don't know. They create warp drive. I feel like I missed one. Oh, here we go. Zod. Answer. Grab a paddle.
I mean, that's work, but sometimes I don't have enough time for where that leads to. But yeah, there's that distraction. But then the question,
Rebecca, did you hear the question? She said, "What's the question again?" I feel like, did you repeat the question?
Oh yeah, and I think she answered in the next one. If it's about eating
Oh,
Cinnabons, I would cut it in half and make my love eat the other half with me. Yeah, I mean that's worked, but then that's a
weird.
slippery slope because
See if
I
I was
don't
gonna
like
say
Cinnabons.
I, I would cut it in half and then eat both halves because then it's like you're having two. Or is that terrible? Oh, geekicidal tendencies. Are you're trying to get him murdered? He said I would start out by saying, "Listen, fatty,
Yeah,
that
you
is
know, I've
going to
tried.
end with your murder." What is? Oh my God!
Mad squirrel, mad, mad
Mad
squirrel.
squirrel, what are you doing? What
Oh
are
my
you doing?
goodness. Mad Squirrel,
Holy crap! Like
Mad Squirrel's gotta be on my
she's
one
got
K.
she's got some crazy psychic tendencies too. Like I was literally thinking, I don't know, it was either during your stream because I don't know when your father was rambling on, and then he tried to catch me again the same way that you try to catch me all the time, not listening with the "Oh, what do you think?" general question. Unbelievable. And I was like, you know what? I feel like I should go message Mad Squirrel because I have not in a long time. It's been way too long. Way too long. Unbelievable. It
Yeah,
said she's
Mad
sneaking around
Squirrel's
the interwebs. No, I meant
you know,
no, I meant are you busy? Like, do you have 15, 20 minutes to pop in here? That is what I meant, Mad Squirrel. Not like not what are you doing? Like, I didn't ask if you were collecting, or I guess they're not collecting nuts for the winter anymore. It's the middle of the winter. They're just using them up.
oh 15 oh I have
Oh, really?
15.
Zod, talk.
Oh, okay. So yeah, if you guys don't know, Mad Squirrel, it was part and always will be in our hearts, and hopefully one day on our channel. The one of the original bridge crew members, and helped me out a ton on my channel. She's just amazing, and I don't know if she knows that I reached 1,000 subs. But man, I'd love to have her on for my 1K. I feel like as part of the original crew, she should definitely be there because it's going to be all of us: me, Perp, Stevie, uh, you, Cyber. I feel like Mad Squirrel has to be there because God, those 7 days a week midnight shows, man, oh man, those were the
Oh,
days.
it was so long ago. It feels so long ago, does it not?
Yeah, yeah. It feels like, and it was hilarious because she was also there when I was just starting out, and it seemed like such a long, long road along. That's a great play on words, Carmen. That is that is an excellent play on words.
Oh, well, you answered this question, correct? You just
Yep.
answered it. I was listening to you.
Yeah, yeah. Mad Squirrel's been with us for a while. I mean, you know, she as far as we know, she had to take care of the little squirrels, and so we've always. You must have caught something funny.
Yeah, yeah, I did. It was very funny. JD Davis said, "Oh, why isn't it popping up on the screen? Pop up on the screen. Come on. Oh, of course. Come on, come on. I know you want to. I
Oh, there
know
it
you
is. I
want
seen
to."
it.
It said, "Just stay away from PB's nuts." You got no problem there. No problem there. Oh my God. No, Mad Squirrel, she is like a big sister. Exactly like a big sister. Like she
And
couldn't be any more like my sister.
Michael, I ever watched every one of those shows. I watched Captain Planet, Magic School Bus, Animaniacs, Tiny Toons, and Freakazoid. Every single thing you listed there, I grew up with.
Wait.
Those were the good old days.
What is this? Wildcard said, PB, since when do you listen to Zod? What do you mean? Like, I listen to him. I mean, vaguely. I catch enough words and I know what the topics are. He's not a super complicated person, so I know what the questions are going to be and what I'm going to answer. It's slightly more complicated with Father Zod, but not super complicated, which is why when he asked me that question earlier, I was like, okay, stall for half a second, and go. And I was good to go. Like nobody can ever tell when I'm not paying attention because you just got to talk your way out of it. It's very easy.
Yeah. I think that let me get, because there were a lot of emotions that I was feeling at that time, and I there now, you know how you do an interview and then afterwards you got all of the questions you wish you fucking asked, and you think about 150 different questions. I was like, I missed this. I meant to ask you, like, what did you think of David? I thought that was a very good. He gave very detailed, very detailed answers.
I thought that it was a great interview. Like he doesn't have all of the answers per se when you ask a question like, what do you think this person thinks? He's not going to sit there and speculate on what somebody else is thinking. He seemed like he only is going to say, hey, here are the facts. I will give you all of the facts that I was able to dig up. I will give you all of the quotes from people that I have talked to after I've asked them a question, and I can give you my opinion, but I'm not going to sit here and speculate on what somebody else might have been thinking or what I thought they were thinking because I had a conversation with them. I can't stand that shit, and way too many people do that.
Oh, you mean, hold on a second, PB, you're onto something. Oh my God, you're onto something crazy. You brought up something crazy. You mean he's an actual journalist? Holy fuck, I thought those were gone. You mean he just goes on facts and what he knows?
I know, it's a wild thing to think that people could still do that in this day and age. I didn't think that it was possible.
Yeah, I mean, here we were saying journalism is dead, and what a bunch of assholes we look like tonight. I've been saying that shit for like a year.
Right? I look like that all the time. It's no problem.
Well, according to the interweb, if I go by these people, which, by the way, guys, as much trolling as I do of Mr. Pop Culture PB, I'm also very protective of Mr. Pop Culture PB. I got into an argument with the group that shall not be named because of what they did to Mr. Pop Culture PB, but that was a different scenario. 9 out of 10 times, I know, because we made this comment before, right? Where you don't need someone to stick up for you, but what you do need is someone to stand by you, right? When you don't need someone to come to your aid, right? So when I watch you on these threads, I just sit back and I troll like a motherfucker because I know where this conversation is going. And it's pretty hilarious to watch.
The conversation is going mad.
Oh, hello. Is my mic working okay?
Oh yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Oh, so what's going on with Jane?
Oh, Janie Davis is my number one Australian fan.
So it's Janie. Janie Davis?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, Janie. I called her Jane
No,
by
that
accident.
that's how we pronounce it. Zod pronounces it however the hell he wants, but you already know that.
Yeah, that's true.
Never. Name one time I've ever pronounced anything wrong.
Oh
Oh
my
my
God.
God. We don't one time.
Alamo?
One time.
Alamo.
LMAO.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh.
You know what? On a 1K celebration, we got to bring out my worst pronunciations because the great people here, the new people we have watching us, have no clue the amount of funny shit I have said over the years.
Oh my God. For reference, for those in the chat, like Zod was reading an article and it was talking about like I was talking about Roswell and like, the whole like Area 51 thing, and it mentioned Alamo and the article, and Zod goes, Alameo, and then just keeps going. And I'm like, what? Alameo? Alamo. He's like, oh, and it keeps going, and then he did it one more time after that. And
He
that's
did
when
it
PB was
again.
like, wait a minute. And he's like, did you, oh my God, did you just do that again?
He did it again.
I don't
Oh my
remember what
God.
the other one was. PB, what was the other thing he had?
Oh God, what was the other one? Because it was so
Gary
freaking
North just
special
said it,
too.
Kevin Foggy.
No.
That was
There's
one of
another
them.
one because it's a random word. It wasn't a name. Like Alamo's. I mean, I guess it's a place, but
Yeah.
it was a random word.
He's like, what? I'm like, you remember the Alamo? He's like, apparently not, Zod. Oh, sad.
I mean,
Oh, what? Quiet, Zod. I have a question. What have you been
Yo.
up to, Squirrel?
Oh man, it's busy, mostly with the small squirrel stuff, and
I know. Are you still in the position where your children are not going to school every day?
yeah, they're
Oh
schooling from
man.
home. It's actually gotten a little bit more organized, and everyone is like in their own rooms. So at this point, every now and then, I made the mistake of purchasing some of those chickens. The squawky chickens that you squeeze and they scream.
Oh sure.
So now, like, they're attacking each other during their Zoom calls. I'm like, does everyone in this house want to die at once? This is like, stop messing with each other. So yeah, but other than that, they've been doing fine. A couple weeks, like earlier in the month, Com Squirrel lost his mom, so
Oh.
it's been a really weird 2021. So it's like, hopefully things will start to chill out. You know what I mean? Like, it's just last year was rough, and this year it's like, I
It
don't know.
didn't get
Let the
better.
meteor hit. Yeah. Oh my God. I don't know if it'll get better. I hope it does. how is
mean,
Mrs. PB, and how is the unicorn?
oh, for my part, me and the unicorn got a place together, and we got some help from the good people. The COVID thing really messed us up. We were living in a hotel, and then we pulled it out thanks to help from this great community, and now we've got things back on track. But my uncle killed himself,
Oh
and so
God.
I was dealing with that, and I've been doing streams on the WWE because it has to do with them. So,
I'm sorry to hear
yeah,
about your uncle, man. That's awful.
yeah, so I hear you on the whole. It's been a rough. It's been a rough couple of 2 weeks now. So,
How is I guess the matriarch? Was this from your matriarch, your mom's side?
it was on my dad's side.
Oh, that's horrible, though. That's terrible news. I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh no, I mean, PB and everyone here has helped me really get through it. So
That's good. That's good. Yeah, nothing really prepares you for that, and it's one of those things where it's like, well, could I have done something? It always goes back to that. In the end, it's a weird energy that's after someone when they take their own life. It's really hard, but at least you guys have support, and that's what's important. So, were you able to attend any like services or anything, or is it still like the COVID extravaganza?
No, the fucking COVID bullshit made everything virtual.
Well, what the
Yep.
hell's the point of that?
It was
I
a
have no
virtual
idea.
funeral. I'd never done one before, and apparently you can't replay it because I was going to live stream it, but we just wind up talking. But I mean, yeah, it was really weird, and New York is locked down ridiculous, so I couldn't even get out there to attend.
Right.
And my family went to war over the thing because me
Oh.
and Father Zod chose to campaign and call the WWE out on their bullshit, and our family didn't like that idea, so we weren't invited to attend the funeral anyways, even if we could. So
Stupid family shit every time. There's always something.
yeah, they just want to leave it alone. They just want to leave it alone and let things pass. And Father Zod was the last person that my uncle talked to, and he said,
Oh.
I want you to run with this and get the story out there. And that was like the last conversation. And people are pissed off at my dad because apparently it's a crime that the last person that talked to him was my father. So everyone's in the family is so fucking petty that they're pissed off about that. That's the thing that they're upset about.
That's stupid. How's your dad overall though? I mean, how's he doing?
He has his good days and his bad days.
Mm.
He never shows
Apparently
it.
now he's getting threats all the time.
Yeah, he's been getting threats from these crazy fanatics of the WWE, and the lawyer of the WWE sent out some emails. So I've sort of had to take on the crusade on my channel because there's some things that I can't mention for legal reasons, but I've been asked to do some stuff, and he can't do it because they can attack him. So it's kind of fallen on me to make sure that this gets out there.
Well, keep doing it. In the end, I think that's the big thing is when you have these big corporations and they're like trying to target family members or those who are upset about their loved one. It's like, especially in this era where everyone's all open about their feelings, then why the hell not? Let it be known when especially if there's injustice or there's other stuff going on behind closed doors that otherwise would never be mentioned. Just let justice reign. Oh.
Well, that's because we don't have you in charge of anything.
So, oh God, I don't know. I'd be like, burn it down. No, don't do that, kids. That's wrong. But no, what was it? Wild Carrot. I think it's Wild Carrot in chat. So they had to see two funerals.
That's how I thought it was pronounced too. Apparently, it's just Wild Card.
Wild Card. Sorry, Card. Sorry. He said he got to see two funerals via live stream last year. That sucks. That really does suck. There was one funeral. One of my best friend passed away. That was not COVID related, but she passed away late last year in August, and I couldn't even go. Like there was no way I could have gone, just restrictions wise. That's how crazy it was. And they didn't do live streams because the family chose not to do that because of the setup and all that. And I was like, whatever. Like it's just bizarre. I was like, really? This is that year. But
I am slightly afraid of the mental health problems that are going to be caused from the lack of closure that people are going to have from, because we're not talking about just COVID deaths. Other people die all the time, and you didn't get to go to any of those funerals either. And all of the people that are involved with them, family or friends, it doesn't really matter who, everybody needs some type of closure. So yeah, maybe you sitting over at the back of the room, maybe you didn't need closure, but everyone in that front row probably did. Shit, maybe everybody in the room needed closure. I don't know how much of an asshole this particular person was that died. Like what do I call him? My wife's step grandfather, right? I feel like that's right because it's not her grandfather. He married
Right.
in.
Right.
They did not have a funeral for him, and everybody has closure. See what I'm saying?
Oh, that's so nice. Oh, see, that's a fair. I'm so messed up. It's funny. I'm sorry.
So nobody there in that scenario is going to have problems with their mental health. They would have had
Right.
problems going forward with their mental health if he was still alive.
Right. Right. It's true.
I mean, you're not supposed to speak ill of the dead, but I do not subscribe to that.
I don't either. I don't. Someone's an asshole. They're an asshole in
Like,
death too.
like exactly. If you're a fucking prick, you're a fucking prick, and I'm gonna say it regardless of whether you're alive or you're fucking dead. Like, I've dealt with you,
Right.
you son of a bitch. You were an
Right.
asshole to me, just in passing. Like, I never sat down and had a conversation with you ever, and you were a fucking
Right.
prick. So, take your ashes and, I don't know, put them in the garbage. I don't fucking care.
Rebecca has a good point. She was saying, I guess COVID's opening up a lot of behavioral problems. All the narcs and the mental people are popping up so much. That is so true. That is so
Oh my
true.
gosh. So that is exactly true. So I have a program in Wisconsin that if you're on Badger Care here, which is the state-run healthcare system, they will
Call it Badger
help you
Care.
with. Yeah, because we're Wisconsin Badgers.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The
I'm sorry.
mental enemy of the squirrel.
Oh dear.
She was having flashbacks.
Oh shit.
So if you're in the program, they have a gas mileage reimbursement thing. So you just call in ahead of time and they give you a little number and then the doctor signs it. And then you go on the web thing, you take a picture, you upload it, and then they reimburse you and it goes on a little credit card thing that you can use later to, put gas in or buy groceries or, whatever. You can buy cigarettes with it if you wanted to because you already put the gas in to get there. It's just reimbursing you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like it was a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, when you call after you've decided what language you speak, because that's always first, then they have hit 9 if you are reporting somebody that isn't following the mask mandate. And I was like, okay, I'm never hitting that button by accident.
Right.
I would just to fuck with
I'm
people.
not narking on people. I'm not
No.
doing it ever. Like, if you feel like you need the mask and you want the mask, go ahead and wear the mask. Like, that's fine. I don't care. But I'm not going to be the person out here being like, hey, you need a mask. You got to have it on, blah, 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 blah.
You're not going to be
I'm
kept
not
in
that
safety.
person.
Right.
Right.
I don't want to be that
not
person.
Me.
If somebody wants to do that, that's fine. I don't give a shit. That's fine. Like in the end, I think it should be up to the individual. I understand the safety reasons and all that crap. I just, I care about my family. You know what I mean? We're going to do whatever we're going to do for people in our family. They can do whatever the hell they want to. If they want to do that, that's fine. Hopefully it doesn't give them the plague and they like limbs fall off and shit. No, whatever. I don't care. I just don't care.
Right?
Let it rain.
Well, Janie Davis said before, I told my family that they have to tell stories about me being weird and angry at my funeral. I mean, they're going to be telling all kinds of stories at my funeral about me being angry. They'll be like, you remember that time that PB was pissed off about this? And everyone will go, yeah, I fucking heard about it.
Well, I know that at my funeral, there will never be anyone talking about how I ever ranted. I'm the most level-headed guy here on this panel. I never rant.
I'm going to fucking mute you.
We're all like, oh, guys.
Unbelievable.
God. Yeah.
Like, I
Oh,
was
by the
sitting
way,
here on the stream last night trying to ask him a question for like 2 minutes, not realizing that he was muted and had walked away from his fucking device. And I was
oh
like,
shit.
well, Zod, what's going on here? Because it doesn't show on the screen anymore when you hit mute. It only shows to you that you hit mute. It doesn't show the audience anymore that you're on mute. And I was like,
You know,
well, son of a bitch.
I was gonna tell you. I like during Christmas, I think it was like Christmas time, my cousin sent me Wisconsin cheese. And he sent me like the cheese curds.
Okay. Were they
and
still squeaky?
oh yeah. Yeah. They were
Yes.
like fresh because they put it like they had it iced up. You know what I mean? Everything was cool, like really cold when we got it.
Nice.
And it was a fantastic, by the way, like fucking amazing. And I was like, this is a whole new world. Like the sharp cheddar is it was aged sharp cheddar, by the way. Fucking amazing.
Mm.
And Tom Squirrel, like
Do you-
the cheese curds were taken over. Like I got one bite or 2 bites of the cheese curds and everybody else demolished them. So yeah, that lasted a day, if that. So yeah, amazing stuff.
Did you have just regular cheese curds or did you have flavored cheese curds too?
They were garlic, I think.
Oh, Dylan garlic.
They were really good. Yeah, it was really good.
Hell yeah. Oh
And
my God.
but he sent me like it was a bunch of like because my cousin likes to support like local businesses and all that kind of shit. So he's always sending me like random food from places. I'm like, that's fine. And so, but he chose the Wisconsin cheese, and I was like, oh, this. I was like, PB would lose this shit. I think I saved one of the shipping bags that came in, so I'd be like, look, this is the company. But yeah,
Oh,
I thought of
man.
you though. I was like, I gotta tell
do-
PB.
Do you know how many years the aged cheddar was?
Oh God, I'm not sure. I gotta look at. I don't know if we still have the package on it. It was a while. It was some seriously aged cheddar though, and it's still we still have some left. Like because I've threatened lives. So
Okay. Well, okay. I wonder because you're a nut expert, not a cheese expert because, squirrel. Anyway, did the cheese when you take it out of the package and try to slice it, fucking dog, go lay down.
the
Go
dog
lay
is
down.
every time.
Oh. I'm trying to ask a question. Unbelievable. Go back over there. Go. Thank you. Anyway, when you took the cheese out of the package and tried to slice it, did it just crumble apart?
No,
Or was it sliceable?
It was sliceable. Yeah.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
the oldest cheddar that I ever had was 25 years, and it was unsliceable.
Holy shit.
It's so good. Like, you
I
can't-
feel like TB is the equivalent of those wine tasters, but with cheese. He just like got that palate cleanser. You know how they do that little sniff the wine first,
Yeah.
and then the swirly thing? That's PB with cheese.
Like yeah, because it was good. It was really good, and yeah, like I know it was hard to cut. I will say that.
Oh yeah.
But it was very difficult to cut. But we have some nice knives, so that worked out really well. Hello, Sandy, and
Hello, Sandy Brown and Shalana.
Shalana, and then
Matt, okay, full stop right now. Mad Squirrel is much better at both men on the panel at following the chat and interacting with the chat. Agreed,
yeah, I'm
Zod?
trying to catch up right now. I think Michael Brent. Yeah, he was in there talking about movie theaters reopening and stuff, and also people working on a vaccine and stuff. And then Geekocidal Tendencies will be right back. But he said earlier, I'm on beaver care in Canada.
I saw it.
Sorry, I thought it was really funny. Oh,
You know that beaver care is some damn good care.
Oh yeah, it is. They
I've
stop a
heard
lot of those rivers. Yeah,
Stop trying to play off of my pun. Come up with your own.
Hey, that's your department. Anyways, yeah, it's great to have
Ha!
all of you
Ha!
guys here.
Wild card said, PB, we noticed.
Oh yeah, the talk
Unbelievable.
chat.
Getting
It's something
roasted.
it's hard. You have a nice
I
crowd
mean,
here. I noticed you had
okay,
late.
so
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I started and I was all alone. Zod wasn't here yet. And for whatever reason, I got started talking about Zack Snyder. And
Uh
Zod was sitting in the back for, I don't know, like 10 minutes or something like that.
oh.
I had
Oops.
no idea that he was back there until I got off of my little tirade and started looking at the chat again. And I scrolled down a little bit, read a couple more comments, got a little low. And I was like, Zod's here. And I looked down at my freaking phone. I was like, oh shit, he's in the back. Unbelievable. I clicked the button.
And
He's like, oh man, I got here. And you're talking about Zack Snyder. I thought I was going to be in the back forever.
Oh, you're in trouble with Rebecca. In chat.
I know.
Rebecca says,
She's an animal lover.
how dare you? He's yelled at these dogs for so long. Oh, little PTSD dogs. Oh my.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let me tell you, there's been some time we'll get to talking about a subject, right? I'll be in the middle of a rant, and then I'll be like, "PB, what do you think?" And he'll go, "Well, son of a bitch, dog! God damn it, get off the couch!"
So natural.
I know, and it's even worse now, Mad Squirrel, because the last time that we talked, I had 3 dogs. Now
Oh,
I
you
have
lost
4.
a dog?
No, I gained a dog.
Oh shit. Sorry, I got it backwards.
No, I said it was worse now, not better.
Oh, that's horrible.
Oh.
What's wrong with you? Your wife's gonna come and just backhand you. Oh my
No,
god.
she's sleeping. She's sleeping.
Oh no, I think she'll get up out of a dead sleep, walk over, and knock you, and then go back to bed.
No, I hold on. I'll pull one earbud out. She's snoring. She ain't waking up.
It's so horrible. Remember that time I was on stream and you guys kept hearing snoring, and I realized you could hear Squirrel? Was that
Oh
on
my
your?
god, that was hilarious.
He was so
They're
embarrassed. I
like,
told him later. I said,
what
"Hun,
was? We're sitting there going, what's that noise? What's that noise? And they're like, I don't know. It's real faint, and it's in a
my
pattern,
headphones
but I can't quite figure it out.
Oh
And
man,
normally it was me, so my natural response was I was like, no, I'm having a pretty clear stream today. It's one of those rare occasions, and Justin was wide awake.
oh my god, yeah." I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I was like, "So sorry." I didn't realize that you could hear him because he was really. I mean, I'm so used to it. Plus, I had headphones in. You know how it goes with spouses. You're just like, whatever. You get accustomed to the chainsaw noise. You know. But
I mean,
seriously,
accustomed to it, I literally have to put the headphones in,
thanks,
turn
Beck.
the TV on. Like, the TV is on playing something random, and I'm listening to something with the headphones in, and I'm playing it at 1.25 or 1.5 speed so that there's no dead air, so I don't hear the chainsaw in the background because I appreciate my sanity.
Oh my
Do,
god.
do you ever, and Matt Squirrel, you could probably answer this, or maybe even PB, but do you ever have a war for pillows? Because let me tell you, my issue right
Oh.
now is
No.
that a certain unicorn takes every fucking pillow in the world, right? And then the funny part is, I'm sitting here with one shitty pillow I've had since we moved in, which, to be fair, she's told me I need to get another one. Okay, that's fair. But then I look, and on the floor is all the pillows she's confiscated from my side of the bed
Hmm.
that she was, and I'm doing air quotes, using.
Mhm.
And then they're all on the floor. And I'm like, so you took them from my side of the bed to throw them on the floor? What is going on right now? This is all new to me. This is all new.
I can't comment yet because I'm that person. So I mean, I don't steal his pillows. He has his own pillows. I I have more pillows than he does. That's all.
Ah,
I don't
okay.
steal them because I've already claimed them. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
I
That's
mean,
that's the scenario that I'm in. She has, I don't know how many effing pillows. Like her bed is in, let's say, the corner per se. So the pillows are at the head of the bed and then tucked around the corner like a
right.
friggin' nest. And I have literally, and it's all that I want. I don't want any more than this. This is not a complaint. I have literally one pillow that I use, and
Yeah,
it's all that I need. I want one
I don't
pillow. It's the
know.
only pillow, and she don't take my pillow.
See, that's a good question. So, I mean, this is a good question for the chat. Like, I don't know if this is a woman thing or what, but I mean, I love pillows. I don't know. I like to pretend I'm in a cave, I guess. And I just, I don't know. But like, a calm squirrel only wants one pill. And if I try to make him take another one, because I think in my mind that it's going to prevent him from snoring, but let's laugh together because that doesn't matter. He can snore in any position. It doesn't matter. But he only wants one pillow. He's the same way. So I don't know. I don't know to the chat as far as, ladies and guys. I mean, what do you how many pillows do you guys sleep with? Like, what is your average, and do you need to have more,
Ooh,
or do you need to
that's
have
a good
less?
question. Good
Because I'll be honest with you,
question.
I have a lot of pillows too. I don't steal them though. So that, to be fair, I don't steal them, although I probably would if I only had like one. So
Okay. Follow up while the chat tells us how many pillows they each use. Do you have a predetermined side of the bed?
yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank God. I don't understand people. Like, I don't remember what I was watching one time. It must have, I don't know if it was on YouTube or if it was some weird documentary special or something. And they're interviewing all these people and they're talking about how they didn't have a predetermined side of the bed, how they would just go to bed and whichever side of the bed they decided to choose, that's where they would sleep that night. And I was like, fucking savages.
Oh, I can't. I have to have a designated spot. Like, I can't. You know what I mean? My sleep gets weird when I flip a spot. I guess it also depends on the position of the bed. So like our old home, I slept on, let's see, left side of the bed, and then later on, when we moved because we have a new position for the bed, I'm on the right. But that's okay. But I don't switch back and forth every night. This is my spot. I claim this spot. You should see the amount of crap I have on my side table. It is definitely my spot. You know?
Yep.
I
Yep.
don't know. I can't help it. I love snacks. I'm gonna have my stash hidden. Like I hide it from the squirrels. I don't give a damn. But you see the calm squirrel side. It looks like a monastery. Like I don't even know. Like
I know that feeling. I got the same setup. Like I have my Star Wars, my Captain America that she got me.
Whoa, whoa,
All of them
whoa.
I got set up.
Don't lie. Don't lie. It's Captain Marvel.
Mad Squirrel's talking to two
Fuck off.
pair of nuts. Yep, Carmen is correct. It looks like we got a lot of answers in chat about the pillow question.
Yep. Evelyn
man.
said that she uses two. Shalana said that she uses one. Stone
Ooh.
Cold Jeremy says that he uses one or two at the most.
Yeah.
Wildcard said, I have one pillow to sleep with and two to lean on while sitting up.
Oh, thanks,
Sit up in
Wildcard, by
bed?
the way. Yeah, like Stone Cold was talking about, like his full comment is, so far from my 49 years of life experience, men typically have one or two at most, and women usually have enough to build a fort. That is correct, at least in my experience. But Shalane, I'm sorry, is it Shalana?
I say Shalana. I don't know if I've been pronouncing it right or wrong. I haven't been
To let us know.
corrected, so that's
Evelyn
how I.
sleeps with two. She sleeps with, but Shalana is the rebel. She's got the one. And then there was someone else who had one. I don't know. I like having pillows. I have 4 pillows on my bed, and I use 2 to sleep on, says KH. Oh, my.
Apparently, so do unicorns. They're
You mean
mythical
she
creatures. They
has
need every
two and you
fucking
have two
pillow.
and she sleeps? Oh, I was gonna say she has two, you have two, and she sleeps with 4.
Yes. See, Sandy's got it right, man. You have to have that wedge pillow so you can elevate the legs. I don't know. I love that too. It really does help. Like,
Oh, they told me that I was supposed to do that for my back problems, and I was like, nah, it feels weird. And then when I roll, I got to move the pillow. I can't deal with that. What?
Jamie Vick has 12 pillows. Oh my.
Holy.
She's got the best fort. I'm gonna go. Jamie Vick will combine our pillows and make a fort castle. And we'll have the snacks. Carmen can bring the snacks. Shalena only needs one pillow, but that's okay because she can come in the fort. We'll invite everybody into our fort.
You can have a block party in that fort.
I know, right?
Holy shit.
That would be the best thing ever.
12 pillows? Like, why do you have a mattress?
First off, that's just comfort. That's squishy. That's like, it reminds me of Princess and the Pea or something like that. Except that's mattresses, but we could do it with pillows. Who gives a damn?
Like, I can't imagine having more. I've never had more than 2 pillows even on my bed at any point during my entire life.
That's a lot of pillows, but I love pillows. Like, here's the other question. Are they like throw pillows, or are they actually, I have all types of size pillows too. That's the other thing. This is for my neck. This is for sitting up,
I tried to use the little pillows, those little like square pillows, and then you can put 2 of them together and it kind of makes a whole pillow, right? So I tried that strategy. I'm like, I'm going to outfox the unicorn on this one, right? This one's going to go directly under my head. And if this son of a bitch moves, I'll feel it. Well, at about 1 o'clock at night, I turn over and I'm like, hey, I feel like I'm a little lower to this other designated pillow here. And I look, and she's cuddled with the pillow that was underneath my head. How did she pull it out? She was like a magician. I don't understand it.
The unicorn has a mission, and that's for more pillows.
Jamie Vick answered. She answered me. She said, because my husband wants a mattress. That's why she has a mattress.
With enough pillows too, you can have a new mattress. That's true, though. I mean, technically, mattresses are hard to find. Like nice mattresses, Like, Sandy Brown is talking about the Sleep Number 360 bed, where it conforms to whatever position you sleep in and adjusts the temperature. That's some fancy stuff right there. I mean, I saw those.
Like, I've seen those things, and I don't know if, like, how does it know what position I'm supposed to be in? It goes, yes, you've rolled over, and now I will adjust the bed this way. And I was like, nope, I needed you to go the other way, you son of a bitch.
Oh, God.
I don't know how it works.
I mean, that's kind of scary. I don't want a bed because then I get into Terminator territory. I feel like technology should not. No, this is a real thing, okay? Technology should not be that advanced when I'm fucking sleeping and the bed is like Cyberdyne system going, yes, I computed the statistics. He's gonna roll in 3, 2, 1, bam, conform. No, that scares the shit out of me. I don't want my bed to have independent thought.
It's interesting. Like, I don't know, just the different way that people sleep, like the different issues that come up. Like, you don't think about it. I just asked that question when you brought up the pillow thing. So I was like, it's a very, it's weird. I don't know. It's funny because I like how habits start. Like, I know when I was younger, I think I had 2 pillows max. And as I've gotten older, I'm like adding more pillows at this point. So I'm like, is this an age thing? So like by the time, let's say I hit like, I don't know, 60, I'm basically just going to be like covered in pillow stashes, and my whole bedroom will basically be pillows, and you won't even know that I have a comm squirrel, in this bed. I don't know. But anyway.
No, Stone Cold. The equipment, I should not have to be smarter than the equipment, okay? The equipment is man-made, all right? If we're getting theological here, I do not want to be dealing with some Matrix-type shit, okay? I don't want to deal with something.
Shit.
I don't want to deal with something that is conforming to my thoughts and one day will be independently thinking. No. Leave it alone, people. Leave it alone.
Yeah, Rebecca asked that question. It's interesting. Like, just a side note, but she goes, "Is there any way of training myself out of slipping back to falling flat? You know, I've tried using 3 pillows, but I keep slipping off of them to sleep flat." Yeah, I haven't figured that out either. Especially if you're a restless sleeper. I mean, when I was pregnant, that's the only way I learned how to sleep on my back properly. I had no choice. So, like, I that was the only
Ah.
way. That's the way I learned to sleep on my back, like upright. I think it's more propped and positioned, the better. But I have to sleep at a certain angle, so I haven't successfully figured that out. You know, I don't know if anyone has any advice for Rebecca on that, but
I
I don't.
mean, the first I'm going to say goodbye to Carmen. She said she's falling asleep sitting down.
Oh, good night, Carmen.
Good night.
Use
Little
the pillow.
delayed on that one, Zod.
Well, hey, you know, I wanted everybody else. It's not my stream. I wanted everybody else to say good.
Shush. The only solution, I guess, that I have to that is the pillow that I use is one of those conforming pillows. Like it's made of memory foam so that the bottom of the pillow, per se, the part that's closest to your shoulders, is a little thicker than the middle of the pillow so that where your neck is kind of resting there. But I guess if you're rolling around in your sleep or tossing and turning all the time, it's not necessarily going to help you.
Right.
Because I don't know. I didn't know that was the thing that people work their way towards the foot of the bed while they're sleeping.
Right. Yeah. Like, so I don't know. Like, I don't know if like when I was a kid, I was a restless sleeper. So, but I like to be covered up completely. I don't know if your lovely ladies like to get under the blanket completely. Like, I make a cave. So I have my own blanket. That's how we found a solution. So Calm Squirrel has his own blanket. That is one thing. I will steal everyone's blanket. So, but yeah, I don't know if your ladies do that or not, but yeah, I do.
I mean, it depends on what the temperature is.
That's true.
Like, go ahead, Zod.
No. It's not my show.
I know. So take the fucking direction and talk.
I still got it. Anyways, yeah, the unicorn does the weirdest thing, and it is she has this thing with the sheets. Even if we don't go under the bottom of the sheet every night, she has to make sure that it's like perfectly lined up. So I get into the situation when I go into bed and I'm not on the bottom sheet, you know, that last like thin one. She will lift up the whole fucking covers while I'm in the middle of sleeping, put me on the bottom sheet, and put it over the bed. It's like every night. She has to like have the very, I don't know what that bottom sheet is, but the really thin one. Or if a corner's messed up, she's got to readjust the whole thing.
Oh, wow. Well, she's very particular.
Oh, yeah.
The bed then. Like, yeah. Like, me and Calm Squirrel used to share, like, the main comforter, and that was a joke. Let's laugh together. So, like, I would take the whole blanket, and he didn't care. You know, like, he leaves his feet off the side of the bed, and, you know, I mean, I hate that. I'm like, no. Like, I think I'm in the same. Selena said she goes, I've been doing that at night. I have 3 blankets on top on the bed, and I'm covered from foot to head. Yeah. Like, see, it's like that for me. I have to sleep not head to toe, but when I go, yes, I do. Okay, I do. Calm Squirrel corrected me. Yes, I know. I do cover. Okay, and he's not sure.
I didn't realize you had your own peanut gallery there, being like, no, that ain't quite right.
Yeah, he walked by, gave me a look, and just went, right. Whatever. Looking like a mummy over here. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I have to have a blanket when I sleep, and it can't be some sheet. Sheets piss me off. I think they're a pain in the ass. I really hate sheets.
Ah, okay.
I've never been a fan of them. I'm like, I don't know. That's weird. I know, but I like
I
blankets.
didn't know that they were a thing for the longest time. I was like, sheets go on the bed and then blankets go on people. And they're like, wait, but you're supposed to have this sheet underneath your blanket that goes on you so that you don't touch the blanket. And I was like, why the hell wouldn't I want to touch the blanket? This is the weirdest thing I've ever heard of. What are you talking about? And they're like, well, that's so you don't have to wash your blanket as often. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'll just, when it gets dirty, I'll wash it. I don't necessarily care how frequently that is. What are you talking about? Why do I want a sheet that's just going to bunch up for
Yeah.
no reason?
Yep.
Like, that's all it's there for.
Ends
Like,
at the bottom of the bed, like a lump. You're like, oh.
every time. And you're like, what the hell's going on down here? Did I leave a freaking sweatshirt? Nope, it's just a sheet.
But see, like Comscore likes the sheets, so I'm like, whatever. You can take the sheet, you can take your own blanket, because I'm going to steal his blanket if we share one. That's just a guarantee. So.
Well, I will guarantee you that not a single person in the chat has the solution that I have for sleep in my bedroom, because a lot of people, I'm sure that both of you sleep in the exact same physical bed as your partner, right?
Yeah.
Right. And I technically sleep in the same bed, except it's two full-size beds put next to each other. Because when I tried sleeping next to her, like immediately next to her, she does a lot of moving in her sleep, and I end up rolling towards her all the time. I was like,
God.
I can't do this. I can't do this. I was like, every time that you move around at all, I'm always rolling towards you, and I'm not gonna bunch up a bunch of blankets in between us, so I gotta lean against some blankets. So how about we just take two full-size beds and we'll put them right next to each other. That way you have an entire mattress to yourself, and it's not gonna affect my level sleeping pattern.
That's
It
actually
need
a
to be
smart idea.
at least level. Oh my gosh, it's driving me crazy. Have you ever slept at a 10 to 15 degree angle to your left?
I don't even know. I don't even know.
Yeah, that's pretty specific. I don't know.
It's weird. It's very, very weird. So that was a huge solution that I had to come up with. I was like, this ain't working out. I was like, I'm not sleeping at night at all. I'm getting like 2, maybe 3 hours of sleep, because it takes me forever to fall asleep. And then every time you move, I'm waking up. And then once I finally do get some decent sleep, I was like, okay, now I move a little bit and everything is completely uncomfortable because I don't know how to move relative to the angle of incline of my fucking mattress.
Right.
So that was that solution. But I always need a fan running. If it's the summertime, it's probably running faster because it's hot out, but I need the fan running for the white noise and for the air movement, both reasons. So then I also have 3 blankets on my bed, except they're of different thickness. Like the top one's a comforter, and the other 2 are like, let's say, medium-sized blankets. And one of them is, gosh, I don't know how to say it. It's like stitched or whatever, or woven, or it's made of yarn or some shit. I don't know. Like you can see through it. It's got little holes. It's not like a solid piece of cotton or whatever. So that is what I would call my summertime blanket. So in the summertime, that's the only blanket that I'm using, with the fan probably on high because the air conditioner is not in the bedroom. So when the door is closed, it starts to get a little warm in there, especially if I've been sleeping for 5-6 hours, because apparently I give off a lot of body heat. I don't have to be totally covered. I just need something covered. So I can leave my torso uncovered, but I gotta have like a leg covered to be like, yeah, I'm in bed sleeping. And I can deal with a sheet if it's only a sheet.
Right.
Like if I'm using a sheet as a blanket, I can do that. But if I'm using a sheet as a sheet under a blanket, like when you go to the hotel Do you rip that son of a bitch out of the way?
Oh yeah, I
Like,
think it's
fuck that.
useless. Yeah, like Rebecca made a point. Sheets are important when you have fevers. That's true. Because she said when she had a bad fever, I could not have had anything but sheets on, or I would literally heat up so fast I was alarmed. Yeah, it's helpful to have the sheets for like illnesses or just to keep like that's what I'll do with the kids. Just put sheets on the bed and take all the blankets off because the middle squirrel has an issue with blankets and he'll just cover himself up and he's sweating. I don't know, boys naturally run hotter. I know that women can too for sure, but the boys in this house all run warmer, including Calm Squirrel. And I'm like, get off of me. Like that's why we have a king. I have this. He has this. And what's funny is when it's cold out, all the animals sleep on him. So when Janie was talking about her bed, she has her cat on her bed, pens and paper, things like that. When it's cold here, all the like animals end up sleeping on Calm Squirrel. So like he's like a small mountain of cat or dog or
Oh
whoever.
God.
Mm-hmm.
No, I can't do it. Like we had when he was a puppy, he'd sleep in the bed, and I was like, oh my God. At least he doesn't move a whole lot, thank God. Like if he keeps readjusting all night, I'm going to kick you. But he doesn't, because apparently he was a good enough dog. But the new dog, he didn't have to do that. He's a huge pain in the ass. I need to answer. Is this a question? I don't see a question mark. But is it a question? Janie Davis says, I wonder what PB's wearing.
It's a thoughtful reflection of question.
Okay.
Which means
Okay.
it's a thought provoking question.
It's a jacket and a lightsaber.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? You've got to be kidding me. Unbelievable. Like, I have been wearing the same outfit to bed since I was, gosh, I was definitely still underage, but I couldn't tell you the exact age that I was. So for my entire adult life, I've been wearing the same outfit to bed. My birthday suit.
Oh my.
Like I can't be how if I'm gonna be going to bed, how can I be wearing clothes at all? Are you kidding me? I can't be doing that. I was already bitching and complaining about the sheet. Like if I'm gonna roll around in bed, whatever I would try and wear on my torso is going to choke me. Whatever type of shorts or sweatpants or pajama pants that I'm going to wear, they're going to twist around. Like it always happens anytime that I'd ever tried it, where I was like, oh, well, I'm going to be extra lazy tonight. So lazy that I'm not going to take the 3/4 of a second that it takes to take shorts off as I'm walking to the bed, and I'll just leave them on. And I left them on, and it fucking was terrible. So I was like, nope, I'm not doing that ever again. It's terrible. I can't do it. I can't be wearing clothes when I'm sleeping. I hate it so much.
Janie says it was a statement. I wonder why.
Oh.
But still thoughtful. Stone Cold Jeremy says, I think PB is the type that would wear sandals and socks.
Oh, gosh. I mean, the only reason that I had ever worn socks with sandals was because I can't wear flip-flops because they always feel like they're going to fall off on me. So I'm always wearing the Jesus sandals that have the straps everywhere and anywhere. And they always love to rub on my ankle and leave a fucking blister. And the only way around that was wearing socks. So I was like, okay, I guess that's what I'm going to have to do if I want to wear these freaking sandals. So what do I do now? I don't wear sandals anymore because it's weird. Because I agree, wearing socks with sandals, that's a weird thing to do. Like, it kind of defeats the purpose.
Usually when I see people doing it, it's usually like the jock guys, they're like, or like they think they're in sports, one or the other. And they have those like soccer sandals or the sports sandals and the white socks that go up to their knee. I'm like, why? Why? yeah, the beef wears socks with sandals off and on. I'm like, get out of here.
Of
Get out
course
of
he
here.
does.
Of
Of
course.
course he does.
Yeah,
Why does that not surprise me?
oh yeah, he's an advanced paramedic now. So
Wait a second. What is an advanced paramedic? What's
he's
the
getting
difference?
he's getting his advanced certification in being a paramedic. So
So that means he
instead of
can drive the ambulance?
oh he can already drive it. This is actually for like everything else. So like when you get your
Ah, okay.
certification, you can only do so much. Like you get to drive the ambulance and um, all that other crap, but the IV and stuff is the stuff that he's into now. So like it's also about delivering of
Oh.
babies, stuff like that. So the beef is learning about babies.
Oh
Enjoy.
What
gosh.
kind of
Oh my
trade-off
gosh.
is that? It's like if you learn this, you get to now deliver babies. Be like, what?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And like also like do resuscitation stuff and a bunch of other things and all that crap. So yeah, he just started in January because he had a delay because of COVID. So they couldn't put him in the hospitals or anything. Now he's in the hospitals. But yeah, he's been doing that. And I forgot that's where the beef's been. But he's thrilled about the OBG part. I'm like, enjoy. Oh god.
the
See,
unicorns.
no, shush,
Oh,
shush, shush. I'm reading this comment on the screen.
There
Sandy
you go.
Brown said, it's healthy to sleep naked. See, I'm just trying to do it the healthy way. I don't do anything else the healthy way. I got to do one thing the healthy way. Got to make up for all of my ridiculous bullshit.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
I'm a Wisconsinite. That is the extra unhealthy part of America. Like, we make cheese curds. Cheese curds. They're like, oh, you're gonna get rid of that junk cheese? They're like, no, that ain't junk cheese. That's the
no,
good
it's not.
cheese.
It's really good cheese. It's probably it's really good cheese. I was like really shocked by that. I don't know.
It
You
is
said it was good, but I
okay.
was like,
Like
okay, it'll be good.
my favorite is aged cheddar, but
Yeah,
cheese curds is definitely my second favorite. Like
yeah. Because we
hands
had
down.
there was other cheese in there. I can't remember the other flavors. It was like not up my alley necessarily, but the
I'm
aged
guessing
cheddar,
one of them was a Colby Jack. Was it white and yellow?
yes.
Yeah, that's definitely a Colby Jack.
I didn't really care for it too much. I mean, it was okay. It was
No,
tasty. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah, it's what I would call a normal cheese.
mhm.
oh God, I'm
It's
a cheese normie.
yes, you are a
Shal-
cheese normie. You're from New York.
Shalena says that she says I still miss the winking emoji.
Oh. I know what she's talking about. I
And
wonder. I don't remember how to change it when I'm in charge of the studio. See if I can figure that out.
that's true wild card. As long as there is a lock on the door or no kids around, referencing sleeping naked. And then
Oh yeah.
Stone Cold Jeremy said, "You do know that there are these inventions called band-aids. You can put them on the back of your heel to provide said heel with protection."
Great.
Band-Aid.
What's this? What medieval?
Band-Aids are for cuts.
You can use them. Women use it for heels all the time, though.
Preventative Band-Aids.
Mm-hmm.
I did
Yeah,
not realize that was a thing, but there's
yeah.
lots of things
Or
I don't
callus cover
realize.
band-aids, whatever the hell they call them. They use them. It's band-aids, basically. I've seen women do that. I'm like, well, you could just get rid of the damn shoes, but
Oh, look at that. Even the Canadians love cheese curds. Exactly.
he says we use them on our poutine. Oh my.
I mean, I've never had poutine, but anytime that I've ever seen it anywhere, made in any way, they all look delicious.
Blister pads. That's right. Janie and Rebecca. That's what they're called, blister pads. But they're like band-aids. They look like band-aids. They're kind of like they have cushion in them too. So
Okay. So I'd be like, hey, give me some of them blister pads so that I don't, or I could wear sandals and not look like a fucko.
It's true. I mean, I mean, seriously, don't wear socks with sandals unless it's just like one of those like everyone's had that moment where they have to run somewhere. But like if you're living in socks and sandals, reconsider. Let your feet breathe a little.
I have people on my mom's side, and if you guys don't know, my mom's Puerto Rican, but I'm starting to think it's a Latin American thing. But yeah, my uncle's fucking socks and sandals, and I'm like, you wacky bastards! We are in New York right now, and you are going to get beat up, not mugged, not jumped. Just beat up because you're traveling
like,
with me.
Take it. Just take the wallet. Just take it. They'd be like, I don't want your stuff. Take off the socks.
Give me those.
I'm going in the middle of the fucking Bronx, and my uncles who just came in from Puerto Rico are like, speaking the language, which is fine. We're in that section, whatever. But then they're wearing socks and sandals. I'm like, what are you guys doing to me right now? What is this? Why? What? No one does this.
It is a Hispanic thing because that's popular here. And like,
oh gosh,
I don't know. I don't know if it's sport related or if they're just like this is comfortable.
That's so strange to me. Like, why would down there especially? Because I would think that your socks are going to get extra dirty. It's very dry and dusty.
I only wear sandals, so I'm like, oh, I wear sandals in hot or cold. Like, I don't care. I always wear sandals. So.
Okay, I have a question for you. What was the lowest temperature it hit at your house down there?
Oh, we're in very South Texas, but it was real. Well, are you talking real feel based on wind chill? Or are you talking?
Sure.
Because the wind chill was about 19 or 18. It wasn't as like much of a dip as we expected, but it went down. One night it was at 16, and then it went up to. It was still in like the freezing temps. So it stayed there for a couple of days at least. Well, a little longer than that. It was crazy. I was like, this was like New Mexico cold. And I was like, what the hell? And I didn't, I was oblivious. My husband's from there, but I never lived there prior to us. I had visited like north, like Santa Fe, but I hadn't lived in Albuquerque or anything. Well, that was a shocker. We had blizzards. I was like, what the hell? So, yeah.
Like, I thought it's supposed to be a desert here.
I'm stupid. I'm so stupid. I'm like, oh, look at all that snow. Because we literally moved in to our home there in we lived in the mountains, but it was snowing everywhere and it was a blizzard. I was like, what? And he's like, oh yeah, this is normal. But yeah, here it was horrible. But yeah, South Texas got really cold for this area. So yeah, everything died, of course, because tropical plants don't do well. But it was really, really cold, obviously, but not as cold as northern Texas. We did lose electricity, so that felt nice to be a part of something bigger than oneself.
Oh gosh,
that was terrible. So shit. But yeah, that's also why I've been gone for a little while. It's all part of that.
I can imagine.
Yeah,
because I didn't know that Texas was on its own power grid, separate from the United States, until the story was, hey, everyone's going to end up losing power because shit's going to freeze up and we can't spin these windmills in the freezing cold.
Oh, I know. That was so sad. I think Sweden contacted Texas and they're like, this is how you fix it. We know.
Squirrel,
I'm sorry.
You weren't a part of this, but we did a story about this. And I think I'm not sure how much you knew before that, Mr. PV, but we did a story, and a certain author came out and was like, Mr. Stephen King comes out and says it's Texas' fault that all of that was happening because of how they voted.
Oh, he can
Yep.
fuck off. You know, like
Fucking hilarious.
I'm like, first off,
Well-
it's everybody involved. You know what I mean? Like
Right?
everybody's involved with making money. So that guy should shut up. Shut up, Stephen King.
Yeah.
You know,
That was
I
hilarious.
really do have a chip on my shoulder about that guy. Not even for his politics shit. He's just an asshole. When I was growing up, right? I was in Miami. I was born and raised in Miami, Florida. And he came to I remember I was I want to say 12 or 13. We went to the movies, right? You know how when you get your friends back in the day, you're like, I'm going to the movies. And you just go and raise absolute hell. Sorry about that. It's like karma. I'm sorry. Anyway, so for your previous occupation, I always have guilt. I always feel bad for the shit we would do. Anyway, so we were all going to the movies and we were getting ready to go in. There was a ton of people in line. Stephen King decided to show up and rent out the entire movie theater so nobody could go see a movie, just so he could go watch a movie. So fuck Stephen King. He ruined one afternoon for me.
What a dick.
He's like, this movie you've waited for forever. Yeah, you're not gonna see it today because I got more money than everyone here. Have fun. Yeah, he said a lot of asshole things, and it was funny because when someone makes those statements and they think in their mind it's gonna go away, one way, and then you have two sides. We don't unite over anything. But you have this weird thing that happens where both sides of the spectrum come together and go, dick, all at once. That's what happened with that one. No
Jelena's
one.
right. Go crawl into a cave with Amber, Stephen King. You fucking twat. I'm sorry. It's like between, I don't know, it's been Andrew Cuomo and now it's Stephen King. It's a good week. I'm just fuck this guy.
Cuomo. Don't get me
Oh.
started on fucking Cuomo, this guy. I've never seen somebody be able to play all three sides of a coin. It's amazing.
He's an asshole. I'm sorry, from day one. Day one.
What difference does it make if you die in the hospital or if you die in the nursing home? If you're dead, you're dead. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Man. And so in the beginning, right, he was saying all this crazy shit and he's all trying to act like he's a mafia member. I'm like, shut the hell up. And he was like, this is just like Hurricane Andrew. I was down there. I'm like, yeah, in your gated community, you punk bitch. Like that guy, he's an ass. I don't like Andrew Cuomo. I felt like I was the only person that was saying this, but I know there was other people pissed about it. I'm not about the politics. He's just an ass. And then what he did to those seniors, and he's backtracking and shit. Now he says he doesn't believe in science. What the hell?
I missed that one.
Oh yeah,
I missed that one. Oh my god.
Wait, hold on. So
I've been in a time warp this week for some reason. I can't explain it to you.
He said it this week. He was talking because he's backtracking because he's getting in trouble now about what he did to the senior citizens, right?
He's under investigation from his own attorney general.
Oh, all of them. The Democrats and the Republicans are like,
yep,
get him, and so he made a statement this week, and it was his little I guess his own version of a fireside chat. Jackass. And he's sitting here in this little talk and he's like, oh, well, I don't trust what the doctors are saying because first they tell us it's symptomatic, then they say it's not. Me. I'm like, yeah, and you know what? The CDC in the very beginning said we didn't need masks. And that was because they were stockpiling N95s. That's why they said that.
Yep.
So
because they straight up lied to you.
Bingo. And in the end, they did that because they were stockpiling the N95s, quote, for medical workers, which they were stockpiling, and then they still haven't. They still have their stockpiles. And I'm like, where have you been, this mafia motherfucker? Yeah, I don't like him. I don't like him. Fuck Andrew Cuomo. I just had to get it out of my system for the night. Sorry.
I would just like to say, so when something like let's just big an apple falls from a tree, Andrew, what is that, Andrew? Is that the workings of God, or was that, gravity, which is a part of fucking
Right.
science? Are you kidding me right
Exactly.
now?
No, scientific properties are only followed when they support me. That's how it works in Cuomo land. Like, as soon as the science doesn't support the Cuomo, the science goes out the window.
Yep.
Like, what's this
Yep.
science? Oh, we don't want to follow the science. We're people pleasers. And I was like, what? Oh, okay.
Scrolling.
You didn't want to follow the science. Like, that's all you've been talking about for a year.
Oh, Jesus. That's so amazing. That's like these crazy people that I've argued with about the world being flat. Yet I got into it with what do they call that fucking stupid group? The Flat Earthers or whatever?
Oh,
Yeah.
the flat earthers? Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Oh my God. If you ever want to have just the most
laugh?
pointless.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
it was something. I thought I was, I thought I dropped.
Oh, Chilean. Oh, Chilean.
Yeah,
was
what is
saying,
up with that?
move to California. They're giving the vaccine to people in prisons before the regular people.
Wow.
What the actual fuck?
Well, I'm sorry. Are they guinea pigging them? Are they like, let's see what happens? I mean, that's what I think. I mean, because they're not going to get out and spread it outside the population. Are they doing that to be proactive, to say, well, look, we're being humanitarians? I don't know. I would like to know their motive outside
that's a good question.
Are they using
That's a good
them
question.
to see, well, we're going to try this Moderna version of the vaccine and see if it really is giving people side effects? It's terrible. I don't know. I got opinions about all that nonsense, but you know what I mean? It's just all these people have these opinions, and they're like, because of the politics, right? And when the system goes, I can't even believe Andrew Cuomo got an Emmy like that. What?
Oh my God. Well, I know that there are some people out there talking about trying to take it away from him, and I was like, I don't think you can just take an Emmy away from somebody. Like, you gave it away. Like, you give it away. Like, just because you don't like the film or the show anymore doesn't mean you go back and say, well, the Academy voted, but now the person's a known bigot, so we're going to have to take it back. Too late?
Yeah.
Rebecca, I posed that very same question, Rebecca, for an hour. And you know what I got? Not a fucking thing, Rebecca. Not a thing. Apparently the sun's fucking magic. I don't know. Apollo gets on this fucking chariot and rides around this flat ass earth. I don't know. There's an edge somewhere.
Sun. It's just a giant flashlight in the sky that spins around the dome or the firmament or whatever the fucking word is that they use, because they're a bunch of weirdos. Did either of you two ever see Behind the Curve on Netflix?
No.
Oh no.
Do I want? No.
Like
do I want? Do we want to? Does that do? What is this about? Is this flat Earth shit?
This is a 100% documentary about flat earthers, not about the flat earth. It's about flat earthers. So whoever made it knew exactly who they were talking to, because constantly through it, they're asking unbelievably simple questions to these flat earthers that, they're over and above us normal people that, just look around and go, yeah, we're on a fucking ball, you idiot. And then they do these nice little edits that are these jabs at the flat earthers, like, are you fucking kidding me? How can you possibly think that? It's fucking hilarious. Like, if you've never seen it before, I think that you should sit down and watch it, because I think you'd laugh your ass off.
Oh my God. Like, oh God. I kind of feel bad because they're taking advantage of people who obviously are just a little touched. You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, it is like a car accident. So you're like,
right,
slow down. It's terrible.
I mean, one of them, it's not like it's just a bunch of people trying to keep to themselves. The guy who's the main person that they follow. He's a relatively big time YouTuber. Last time I looked
What's
at it,
his
when I
name?
watched this, Mark Sargent.
Oh God, I know that name. I've
Yes,
seen
you do.
somebody has sent me one of those videos of his, and he's nuts. Like, I
He's
know I
totally
don't.
whacked out.
Oh God.
I
He's a
mean,
total
the
whack job.
person, the space images. Oh, they had a great explanation for this one. Get strap in for this one. So the space images. Then they quoted another conspiracy that we never actually did the moon landing. It's all a giant lie.
You know,
They're,
for
they
entertainment,
staged it.
right? Like for entertainment purposes, that I'll listen to their argument just to see how out of whack it is, because I want to
Yes.
know. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'll listen to see what they're talking about. It's just like the moon landing, that conspiracy, the one about Stanley Kubrick being involved, and oh my God, and like there was tapes and all this other shit. Oh yeah, fantastic. I was like, this is top notch conspiratorial like gems. Somebody save this. You know, just save it. Just save it. That's worth saving. Oh my
No,
God.
in this documentary, and I mean anybody who's listening right now in the chat, if you want to laugh at a documentary, which doesn't happen all the time, I didn't think that I was going to sit here and watch this documentary and laugh my ass off. I thought that it was going to be like taken seriously per se, and I guess they do, but they are constantly taking these jabs. And I don't think that the people knew at the time that they were going to be taking these jabs. Obviously
Right.
not. But then you see how they edit it together, and I'm sitting here busting out laughing. But I
Wow.
suggest that you watch it because they do experiments in the documentary, and they're like, hey, we wanted to do this experiment to see if the earth was spinning at the speed that they say it's spinning at. So
Oh
we
God.
ran the experiment, and what did we find? It was spinning at the speed they said it was spinning at. And I was like, oh, would you look at that, you fucking retard? Unbelievable. So then
So
they're like, well, we got to take our thing and we got to put it inside of a tube so that it's shielded from the heaven energies, because that's what's throwing it off.
let's see. Rebecca says, what about the space images? How can flat earthers escape photographic proof that the world is round? Oh, I've heard that response to that, and it's something about the cameras and the lenses and all this other shit. They always
Oh,
go down
yeah.
that road. And I'm
J.J.
like, what?
Abrams, lens flares. That's what he's shooting off fucking lens flares. I knew it all these years, PB. We've been calling it. That motherfucker and his lens flares have been messing everything up. And we're not really seeing that. They just caught J.J. Abrams filming the next Star Trek movie.
My God. It's all fake, just like AH donated the charity money or will donate the money.
Yep, still waiting.
He wants to help the community.
I don't need this 7 million. I'm gonna donate it. Okay.
Right.
Any day now. Any day now. Any day now. Still waiting. Still waiting.
Guess what? Guess what? I didn't lie under oath because I donated the money. And then it's like, oh, guess what? I actually didn't donate the money because of the lawsuit that happened 3 years later.
Is somebody calling you, Zod?
Oh, shit. That's a security phone. I'm going to mute myself first.
Jesus Christ.
There's probably somebody breaking into whatever the hell he's supposed to be guarding.
Okay, so you do know what he's doing, Mad Squirrel. You know exactly what he's doing. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I
He's
follow
at work.
Unicorn on Instagram.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I saw him with his little gear on. I'm like, oh, look at a little Rent-A-Cop man. You know? Let's see if he heard that.
Oh God.
No, I saw
probably.
I saw him in his uniform, and of course, she said some like dazzling things as well.
Oh, I bet she did.
Yeah.
I bet she did. I mean, she's almost as good with her words as she is at drawing, and she's a damn good artist.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Like, I wish that I could draw that fucking good. And like, for me to draw something as good as she draws it would take me 10 times longer, and it still probably isn't going to come out as well. Like, it takes me way too long to draw stuff.
I've been working on comics, right, like lately, and my drawing is
What?
yeah. I was in art for a very long time, and I like got the hell out of the art program. Because I was a magnet for like years, and I got the hell out because I figured out what the end game was, which was jack shit. Like, what are you gonna do with your art? 'Cause there was no schools that were local enough for me to go into animation or cartooning, so I was like, I'm just gonna, you know, wing it on my own and whatever. And I just said, fuck it. I dropped art. It was really rough. So anyway, I stayed out of art for a while. So I've been doodling again. And I'm going to probably work on comics and stuff. But I'm not nowhere
Like
near unicorn standards by any far. She's very talented.
Like, you're making a comic book?
Oh, not a comic book. I'm just doing strips right now. I don't have a purpose for it. Basically, it's just
Okay.
about being as offensive as possible, but making it cutesy.
Perfect.
Yeah, because I've been drawing cat, like I've been redrawing animals, basically like cats and dogs, and I'm trying to work on dogs because my dogs look kind of fucked. But anyway,
Okay.
but
So
yeah,
you
it'll
see
be
this
something.
comment on the screen?
Oh, Janie, thank you very much.
Okay. I didn't know if you heard my description of you before you joined the stream.
Oh, maybe not. I muted it out so I could move over. So
Okay.
I missed the.
This comment is about you.
Oh, okay. I saw that earlier and I was like, okay. I didn't know. I didn't know.
No, she asked earlier, she's like, not to be rude, but who is this rodent? And I was
Oh yeah, I
like,
saw that.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And I was like, oh, this rodent she's essentially my big sister.
Yeah, it's true. Because I'm like, yeah, I'd be like I'd be like your big sister's age, technically.
Essentially, I mean, she's 12 years older than I am.
How
So
old is
that
she?
would be
I know how. Well, wait. Now,
45?
oh, she's older than me, so I'm like the middle sister.
Yeah, you can
Still
be the
older.
middle sister because
Still
you
older
can
though.
replace the middle sister I have because
Yeah.
she's an environmentalist wacko.
Oh my.
I mean, she's the type of person that doesn't believe in pipelines for some unknown reason, like we're going to magically stop using oil tomorrow, and pipelines aren't the safest way to transfer the oil from one place to another. Because, yeah, I would love to live in a society where we just have a Dyson sphere. And for anyone who doesn't know what that is building a artificial machine to capture all of the energy that the sun gives off.
Right.
So you're building one giant solar panel and it collects the energy of the sun. So you don't
Right.
have to use anything on Earth at all, period. Yeah, that's the society that I'd love to live in. But I'm also a realist. And the
Yeah.
fact of the matter is, people drive cars, people fly in jets all over the place. Those things take fuel. Fuel comes from oil. The
Yeah.
safest way to move it is with the pipeline. Period.
And their end goal eventually is to get everybody, I guess, in my opinion, based on everything, especially what you see in different countries of them trying to get people pushed into like these smart cities, where you're basically codependent on the smart cities to exist, which is part of a greater goal plan, I guess. Even Germany's trying to push it in there, and they're going to use climate change as the reason, of course, but it's this going green shit magnified, basically. But I think they want to get off fossil fuels dependency, but there's also, I don't know how to explain it, but they're trying to regulate things that Tesla had for free. You know, that's the way I feel. They're like, Tesla had a good idea. The government's like, oopsie, you know, we stole your shit. And we ruined your career. But you know, they're just trying to regulate the hell out of things. So if they can find a way, like they're doing with solar and wind already, you know, regulating, because we're where we're at here, where we live, we're on wind. And I had, you know, the
Okay.
disruptions I had were purely from the issues that were going up north, you know, with just the grid in general. But we're on wind, and we hadn't honestly had any problems until this, you know, and outside of a major hurricane, but that's just technical crap. So I don't know. I mean, it's ridiculous though. I don't think it's going to happen overnight. I think they're going to find ways to regulate it. And that's the end goal, is to how can we regulate solar and wind, which they're already headed in the state of Texas. That's what they've already been doing. But it is what it is. I don't know. I like having options with my electrical. You know, I like having multiple
Yep.
providers I can go to. When I lived in Arizona and New Mexico, we were pretty much we only had one choice. There was no choice. You just had one, and it was terrible. So I don't know. If
I
you can
mean,
have variety, you have competition and better rates. It's not always perfect, but you know.
I don't know exactly how it works in Wisconsin, which is kind of sad considering I did electrical work for almost 10 years and I don't know exactly how it works. But as far as I know, you have, at least in my county, Wisconsin Public Service and Ocano Electric Cooperative, because that's the county. So those are the two options, but you don't get to choose which one you use. You get to use whichever network you're in. So if you live here and that's WPS, that's who you pay. If you live
Mm-hmm.
here and that's Ocano Electric, that's who you pay. There's
Mm-hmm.
no competition, and they set the price, and that it is what it is. What are you going to do? You need
Right.
electricity, right?
Right.
Unless you're going to live in a teepee.
Yeah, and that was a crap part.
Too
Like in
cold.
Arizona, I hate, and let me just point this out. Like I lived there, I lived in Arizona 15 years or whatever, and I fucking hated it the whole time because it was hot. I wasn't used to that heat, and we only had one electrical provider, right? And yeah, when people are sitting here, you know, like I don't know how many dozens of people were making comments during this Texas thing when it happened, and it was really bad up north, especially. Um, they were saying, "Oh, well, I'm in Arizona and the temp is this." I'm like, "Yeah, and during the summer it's going to be this, and your electrical bill is going to look like 2 house payments. So fuck you, you know."
I saw those comments
It
and I
pissed me
was like,
off.
what a bunch of
Oh,
dicks. These are your
Mega Jetty.
neighbors.
Hi, Mega Jetty. How are you? I'm sorry, MJ. I'm sorry, I can't say it. MJ1. There we go. Sorry. Hi,
No,
Mega Jetty.
yeah, it's Mega Jetty. He knows who he is. So did you know that it was him immediately because it said super chat?
No, he sent me a message recently. I'm sorry I haven't gotten back to your message yet, Mega Jetty. I just got back on Twitter like a day ago, and I was like, oh, he sent me a message, and I was like, oh, he changed his brand, you know, his look and the stuff. And I try to catch up on videos here and there. I just haven't. I took, you know, real life gets in the way of YouTube.
No, I saw that you weren't on Twitter per se, but you posted that one article from, I don't know where it was from, in the UK, that they were talking about not resuscitating who?
Oh God, that was a horrible article. It was from the Guardian, and it was talking about that they were basically saying that they were not going to resuscitate patients who were this is for COVID, but in general right now because of whatever reasons at the hospital, people who were considered disabled. So that would be people with special needs. So that would be Down syndrome, autism, you know, any other neurological thing going on. And it was they were having this huge hoopla about it. And I'm like, yeah, because that's eugenics. I'm like, that'd be a bit dark. That's a little dark for me. I was like, holy shit. I couldn't believe what I was reading. So yeah, that was something.
No, I couldn't fucking believe it either. And I would have never seen that article. if you didn't share it, because I'm just sitting here on Twitter, and then you see the one spot where it's, well, here's the people that you follow, and here's what they're sharing, and it was either the first or second one, and I was like, what is this fuckery? Click on it, and I was like, wait a second. So you're telling me, talking to this article, I'm sitting here talking to an inanimate object, reading this article, going, wait a second, you're telling me that you are just going to let these people die because they had something else and they got this disease.
Right.
My
And they had
God.
something they couldn't help. You're
Right.
talking about people with and then these will be the same people that'll turn around and tell us when we say a turn of phrase or something like that, you can't say this about this group. And you're ready to pull the fucking plug on them.
Oh, yeah. It was really savage article. I was like, oh my God. But they were breaking down what the legislation was, and then, talking about vaccinations and who will or will not get them. And like, they're like, but they were saying that we want, there was groups that are out there trying to ensure that the at-risk population, especially those in the special needs category, do get vaccinations, or at least they're offered to them. And I was like, so you're willing to try to fight for them to be vaccinated, but now they were throwing a fit because they were finding out that these were orders being, at the National Health Services there, were being sent out about not resuscitating those individuals. I was like, okay, so once you get it, you're fucked. For some people, they're gonna, get a real big brunt of it. It's pretty sad. It was just something's wrong with people, really wrong. And then I'm thinking, but why is this shocking though? Really, I mean, I'm being an asshole, but I'm going there. England was really busy with the eugenics movement. They're the ones that started this shit, so I'm not shocked. I'm just saying this is old history, but it's the state of mind. It's bizarre to me. I'm like, oh my God, pulling a Cuomo.
do they have fucking do they have fucking Bane running the healthcare over there?
Yes.
I was like, do you think you're special? I'm sorry, I've been watching a lot of Dark Knight Rises. I've been quoting that shit all week because I don't know. I've been in a dark place, so I've been watching a lot of.
Yeah, Megan is all like eugenics. Khan is getting the eugenist wars again. Oh my! Right, it ties into it. But yeah, what was it? Oh shit! I was going back through here. There's so many comments I've missed, and I feel bad because I know that. Oh,
I mean,
Shalena
we
said
missed
at
all
least
kind of comments.
Shalena said at least he's not being attacked by squirrels or bears tonight. Fuck the bears. Oh my.
Yes, I've gotten many people on board with me to say, fuck the bears. Did you know I hit another bear?
Oh my God, did you?
I hit another bear with the same car.
Oh my God. How bad
Unbelievable.
How bad is the car? How did you get hurt?
Oh, the car was in worse shape because I hit it square in the front and the bear flew up in the air over the car because it's just a tiny little Civic.
Oh shit.
But it was on my way to deliver papers, so I didn't want to stop or anything. So I kept driving and I was looking at my gauges and I was like, okay, I'm just getting ready for you to overheat, you son of a bitch, because I'm pretty sure that you cracked the radiator. Well, it did not crack the radiator because it's a tough motherfucker. So I just kept driving and I called the wife and I said, hey, what are you doing? And she responded back to me and said, why? What did you hit?
She knew.
She's like, I was like, another bear? She's like, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, nah, man. And it was relatively decent size. I don't think it was 300 pounds, but it definitely weighed 200 pounds. So
I guess the question would be, did you kill it or did you just knock him out?
As far as I know, I killed it because when she got to picking up the bear, she called me as I was delivering papers and said, well, I'm here where you hit the bear and there's no bear, but there's a bunch of red shrapnel all over the road. And I said, what the hell? What are you? Right. So, that's what I was thinking, something like that. And I was like, wait a second. it didn't break any of my headlights, and I drive a black car. So if there's any
Oh.
red shrapnel in the road, it must have been the other car that I saw on the road going the other way on the highway, and it
Oh
hit the
fuck!
dead bear in the
Oh,
road and
shit.
smashed up their car, and they took the fucking bear.
Double fatality.
You can't make this shit
Oh,
up.
I
Oh
was
my
driving
god!
along and this bear flew onto my hood of my car.
So I took that
Exactly.
motherfucker home.
I know. I got a new rug. Oh God, that's
So
No,
it was
horrible.
Kenny, we don't have to worry
slightly
about Matt's
disappointing.
mama bear.
Oh my God, that's horrible. Well, at least you
No,
didn't
we
get
don't.
hurt. You know. I mean, I
Yeah,
feel
we
bad for the
don't.
bear, but
We don't have those people coming here anymore. You weren't around for the big falling out of evilness, were you?
no. See, no. Well, I don't know what. I'm like, no, I don't know what happened.
Okay, so you remember how, and because Zod is a chicken shit and doesn't like to use names and,
Okay.
I don't know, group names. You remember when we were in the KOTOR chat, right?
Yeah, back. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Right, and it was like 50 some people in there, and they were all Fandom Menace people, and we're
Yeah.
gonna all band together and we'll all grow our channels together and it'll be great. Well, it was all fine and dandy until me and Zod, we weren't even on the stream. We were in the chat watching the stream on LB's channel, and he decided that he was going to call out Candace, Geeky Candy.
Yes.
You
Okay.
remember
Yeah, I
her?
remember that. Yeah, I remember
Ah,
this.
yes,
Yes, I
yes,
remember all this
calling
nonsense.
calling her out for the racism. So, we were in there and we were making our jokes, blah, blah, blah. Didn't think anything of it. And then she messaged us and, we had our messages. So then we got ostracized from the KOTOR chat. And I was like, you know what? Good riddance to all you bastards because you weren't supporting us anyway. Well, that extends to people like Mad's Mama Bear because she's part of her Queen's Council or whatever the fuck that's supposed to be. My God. It's people like that that you think are going to support you, but they're only there to either use your platform or use your voice because they don't have enough people to fill out their panel. It's
Mm-hmm.
fucking pathetic.
Yeah, and you know how level-headed I am, man. Squirrel, they unceremoniously kicked PB. So then, Mary Mayhem got in contact with me and was like, "Well, I wouldn't associate with this, this, and this." And you know how well I do with those "I shouldn't associate with people" type deals. And so I wrote, I said, no, fuck that. I went on and I argued with people in the chat. So then they go to me, you need to do an apology. So you guys can see this on my channel. The video is still up. I made an apology video and PB laughed his ass off because I start off and I go, I want to say something to all of you people in the Fandom Menace. I want to apologize for the fact that you guys are a bunch of assholes. Fuck you. I'm not apologizing for a goddamn thing. No one was wrong. And, I went on my string of curse words, which was basically the back end of the video. And it did go over too well. It had a lot of hits. It was pretty successful at that time for what I was doing. There was like fucking 500 people. So immediately after that, what's her face? I can't even think about it, but she's always with Miss.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Miss
the sarcastic nerd.
Yeah, she immediately sent me a very dirty DM, and my response was "fuck off." So then she blocked me, and then a couple of other people then a couple of other people sent me some responses, and my answer was pretty much the same thing, because I'm obviously not going to be able to convince you of my side of the argument, because you've already made up your mind. You've already framed me as the bad guy. So I'm just playing my part, right? I'm playing my role. So if I'm literally the villain, then I will act as the villain and tell you to go fuck yourself, because I have met PB offline. In all seriousness, PB has been there for me, even with this situation. All you guys, you, PB, Perp, Cyber, Stevie. I mean, you guys have all been there for me. So when I have these groups of people who didn't give me the fucking time of day telling me about how I should feel about certain individuals, you guys weren't my 100th sub. You guys didn't stick with me through bullshit. You guys haven't even mentioned anything about recent events, but yet now that I'm at 1K, something magical happened. All of the Phantom Menacers now are like, oh, Zod, hashtag Phantom Menace. I'm like, what the fuck? What?
Yep.
Okay, what?
Yep.
All right. Let me take a step back here a second. I'm just going to, having a squirrel moment in the rocking chair now, because my bones are brittle. So let me understand this shit. So after all that drama that happened, this was like, what, this time fucking last year? Maybe? I don't know. When did that all go down?
Close.
It was
Pretty
around this
close.
time,
I
right?
feel like it was maybe 11 months ago, but pretty close to a year. I'll see you later, wild card.
Oh, good night, wild card.
Good night, wild card. And you got it right, Mega Jetty.
Hello, Nitro Gal.
Hello, Nitro Gal.
But yeah, like, so after all that, it's been a year at least a year. I don't remember now, but I remember when it happened. And now here we are, and you hit 1,000 subs, and you start getting tagged and shit.
They started asking me in DMs, hey, Zod, hey, buddy, hey, pal, hey, amigo.
Oh, wow.
So you hit the 1,000 mark. Congratulations. Can we come on your stream? Because we see now you don't have 10 people watch, you have 30, 20 people watching. Hey, Zod, you're getting these people on your channel. Hey, buddy. Hey, can we come on your stream? To which I replied the same thing I replied a year ago, folks. Fuck off. No, none of you motherfuckers are coming anywhere near my channel. Like, look, I have to deal with that tag because I got a good friend that I met, Loki, and he's a great stand-up guy. I talked to Mexican Iron Man. He's a great guy. They really helped me out. And there's a couple of people who unfortunately got lumped, and I say lumped because they still fucking talk to me after, into that tag. So I don't blame them. But all of you other people who casted me and PB out, if you think that I forgot that for a year, you didn't even give me a pleasant go fuck myself, I have a very long memory. And the only people who will ever be on my channel are the people who are still on my channel. And that is it.
Dude, like, I remember when all that shit happened, I was just like, oh, fuck me. Because, I was pissed off, mostly just at the situation. Like, there was a lot of that's what I tell people. Like, it's not particular. For me, my anger was at LB, and he knows that. We've spoken since then. Whatever.
Oh, I know. He told me. He's like, the one thing that I regret the most about it, and I had no idea what his answer was going to be. And he said, the amount of flack that Mad Squirrel ended up getting for something that I did.
Yeah, because I didn't have any part of that. Like, that's
at all.
At all. Like, I remember I popped into the chat that night when I guess it was around the time he started that shit. And, meaning he was in the middle of the rant, and I was just like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh my God. And I just sat there and went, okay. Like, I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna go have a tea. I'm gonna go have a smoke. I'm out. Like, I'm not fucking here for this. This isn't fair. Number one, how I feel about it is like if you're pissed at someone or you have an issue with someone, you allow them to have a platform. And that was what I told him. I said, if you had an issue with what something she said, talk to her, reach out to her and talk to her DM. I didn't think that was a possible thing. And I was like, well, then at least invite her on the live stream, right? Meaning, just like when he got into it with Mads, okay? Allow her to have, and this is the truth, I'm being honest. If she's mad at you or you're saying something against her, allow her to have a platform to respond. You know what I mean? That's only fair. And I know not everyone agrees with me on that because everyone has opinions about motivations and why people do things. I get pissed at people when they act like assholes. That's just the way it is. And or they act like pompous asses. I just don't like it. It's not right. It seems tacky. If we were talking in real life, that's how I look at it. I don't pretend the internet is a bubble and we're all on flat earth. You know what I mean? Like, there's a fucking reality in the world. The internet is still a place full of people, even if there's a lot of assholes sometimes. You know what I mean? There's still an accountability. There's still another person on the other side. Not everyone's your best friend and not everyone's an asshole, but you have to be respectful at least to allow that platform, and if you can't do that, then, or have a mutual communication. I remember, I've never ever labeled myself Phantom Menace. Okay, ever. It's always been, I'm very non-collectivist. Nope. And I was getting pushed into stuff and I said point blank, I'm not part of the Phantom Menace, and I got shit for that. A lot of shit. And DM shit. And I just went, fuck if I care. You know what I mean? I don't believe in collectivism. That's the reason why our fucking world sucks right now, is because we have a bunch of people running around trying to be collectivists. And if I have nothing wrong with the Phantom Menace, I think they can do their thing, and I think there's a good platform for that because there is a fucking problem in the industry. I don't believe in bullying one another. I believe everybody should have a platform to speak and have a conversation and not attack each other, within a group. That doesn't work. That's, everyone trying to be alpha and step on the shoulders of other people. That doesn't get you anything. It just makes you look like a prick, So if you can work together towards a cause positively without shitting on other people or taking advantage of other people or abusing other people, then, if you have a problem, if you're unable to do that, then you're in the wrong goddamn world. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the real world, people like you don't last very fucking long. Maybe a day. Every celebrity is as good as their last fucking project. And you're a has-been overnight. And that is real life. And unless you're fucking somebody or getting fucked, good luck to you. Like, that's just the world it is, right? So this is the little fantasy that games that go on, and with everything on YouTube, everything, and the monetization bullshit, you're signing off your fucking rights by doing that. Go right ahead. I can't curse anymore because AT&T said I can't. Like, that's really sad. You have to just not be a collectivist, think independently. And there's a lot of independent thinkers that are within the Phantom Menace. There's a lot of good people that are within it, but there's also
Thank you.
But it's true. There are good people in the Phantom Menace, and I met a lot of really talented and creative-minded people in the Phantom Menace, and that's why I still support people who are within the Phantom Menace and the work that they've done and the goals that they have. But then you're going to get your bad apples who are just opportunistic assholes who like to showboat. And I don't fucking like that. I think it's despicable. In the end, they're going to pay the price for that, but they're going to take people with them. And I'd rather not be a part of that part. You know what I mean? I just want the creativity, and I want to watch a fucking movie that's worth watching, not this redo shit and, just the SJW crap. I had a small rant there. I didn't cuss as much as I usually do because I'm tired.
Oh, that was beautiful. That was absolutely freaking beautiful. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I know all the time, like you and LB, I mean, you were first where you were like, I'm not in your fucking group, people. I'm just here doing my thing in my tree. Leave me alone. Yeah. Like, if you'd like to talk, we can talk, but I'm not in your group.
Yeah.
Like, don't tell people I'm in your group. I'm just an individual.
See, Mega Jody's great. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whereas I said, the entire time that I've been doing YouTube that I was part of the Fandom Menace. And at this point, how long I've been saying it, Zod? For almost
Since I've
the
known you.
entire year? Right.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say for almost the entire year since this happened, I've been saying, you know, I'm still in the Fandom Menace, but it really sucks that there's a bunch of fuck pies out there that have destroyed and corrupted my hashtag.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there was a while, I don't know, it was like 3-4 months ago that it crossed my mind to just think about the Fandom Menace. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to search Fandom Menace on YouTube and see what pops up. And there's a bunch of videos for and against, people saying this is what the Fandom Menace is.
Right.
What it is. And I was like, okay, I'm going to watch a bunch that are for, I'm going to watch a bunch that are against. Pretty much every single one that was against pretty much is just said, these people are just a bunch of racists, bigots, Nazis,
Yeah,
who don't want anybody. They just want their white culture. And I was like, that is a really weird fucking thing to say about the Fandom Menace. I don't understand that at all. But then when I watch all of the videos that were pro Fandom Menace, I was like, you people aren't doing a good job of describing what it is either, because it's unbelievably simple.
Yeah.
It's take identity politics and wokeness out of my media. That's it. It's unbelievably simple.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that with your story you can't tell somebody some morals. Like you can say, well, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. You can have that in your story, but you shouldn't be smacking people around with social justice that has nothing to do with what's going on in the movie. I can't fucking stand that shit.
And honestly, who the fuck wants a Splash remake? Who the fuck asked for that? Nobody. Nobody asked for that. Nobody. I saw that the other day and I about lost my shit. I was like, oh my God.
But Squirrel, don't you want them to remake everything? Fuck it. Let's remake every fucking movie that's ever been in existence. Let's just not have an original thought. You weren't here for the fucking. I lost my shit with the fucking Doogie Howser remake. At this point, yeah.
Hear about this?
I wish you were there.
Dude, I have not heard. I'm almost horrified to ask. I really am. Like, what
you
is
are.
This
you will be horrified. You will be more horrified than you can even imagine. Go ahead, Zod.
So Doogie Howser, one, does not have Neil Patrick Harris in it, attached to it, wants anything to do with it. Two, it is set in Hawaii with a Hawaiian younger girl who has the Hauser name. They give no specifics how the fuck she's related to the family, but apparently, I'm guessing in this scenario, maybe Neil Patrick Harris's character married someone of Hawaiian descent. They die off screen, I'm gathering, because she ends up with her aunt, who's Irish, that they point out, in Hawaii. What the fuck kind of a scenario is going? There is so many things wrong with this.
I'm so confused by this. You know what I mean? Like this is a very complicated storyline for something that should be rather simple, I think, if you're going to reboot it. And obviously they're flipping the gender. They're going to make it, she's this, she's Hawaiian, but we're going to still have this and we're still going to have that. And it's like, why can't you assholes just come up with something new? Like, why is it? And you know what? I hate to say this. I'm about to say something really terrible, but why is it? Do I feel like all these remakes are just padding someone's retirement that they lost during the 2008 mortgage crisis? Like, why the fuck are they doing so many of these remakes just to make? They're thinking it's a cash cow. Okay, I'm not saying that there isn't material. There is definitely creative material out there, but they're looking for easy money to pad their pockets on their way out as they're death rattling out the fucking door. There, I said it. I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry if it offended the fucking gods of Hollywood, but fuck you. This is horrible. Like, they keep remaking shit and it's awful. And I'm just like, nobody asked for a remake of Doogie Howser. Nobody asked for a remake of Splash. I don't understand any of this shit. I really don't. That's the only explanation I have in my head for why they would do this to us. It's easy money. Yeah.
I mean, I have not heard those two particular dots connected like that because I'm inclined to agree with you. If you look at, obviously, they've been remaking stuff since before then, but
Yeah.
holy fuck, if they didn't ramp it up to fucking 11 since then. Everything. When you are remaking stuff that's been remade already. Like, are you kidding me?
Right.
Like, how do you remake the
And I
remake?
agree.
And I'm not
And I
talking
agree
about
with,
horror movies.
with Shalena. I swear I'm going to missay your name by accident. I don't know why I want to. Anyway, but I agree with what she's saying. There are some movies that should never be remade because they're classic movies. Like why ruin a good thing? Like, why go in there and add it because you want to add, like, let's say, a new character of color, and you want to maybe switch the gender. It's like they did the remake of Overboard, and I watched that, and I don't know why. And I wanted to see what they were doing, and it was okay. It was like a different spin on a little different, but really, could we have kept living without it? I think so. you know,
The shit that I would like to see remade, there's only one thing they're redoing that I am legitimately excited about because it needed to be done, and that was Dune. I love the old movie, but I would have liked, because of how that story is, I think it serves a purpose to remake something like that because there was just not enough time. And let's be real, it wasn't the greatest. You have to be a hardcore fan to love that, which I do. But yeah,
right. Yeah, that wasn't given enough justice the first time around because of obvious limitations. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was production or whatever. And now you have, like, that was a well done remake. You know what I'm saying? Like, I agree with that. Like, I was okay with that. But it is the amount. And I kept thinking, like, during the let's say the 80s and the 70s, well, let's say the 80s, let's go into the 80s and 90s, a lot of creativity spilled into the screen. So we had a lot of 1950s themed movies, 1960s, this is my childhood movies. I'm looking at you, Stephen King. And when you look at all these films, though, is that they're geared towards that generation. And that, I agree with Janie, where there's, she's saying they're doing it because of nostalgia is a huge reason. Well, they do that with every generation. This one, they're doing remakes of their own movies instead of allowing a new generation to come in and create their own creative, films, right? Independent films, and put the budget into those and put the PR and the promotion into those. No, they're putting those on the back burner and putting these fucking remakes at the forefront to pad their pockets. And the only thing I could think of is they're just trying to overload their 401k as they're not letting go of the steering wheel, much like our Senate. Some people need to go at a certain age. I'm just saying.
Holy shit.
We should have term limits across the line right now. I'm just saying.
We need term limits. We gotta get rid of Moscow, Mitch.
It's that same, it's like a selfish logic, though, of not wanting, well, I want control. And I don't know. I feel like a lot of the new things that we think are new blood are not new blood. They're just being handed shit. Their parents handed it to them, or they had the opportunities that most people don't have. I'm looking at you, J.J. Abrams. Anyway, but that's I'm being honest. I mean, that's how a lot of these people got into these positions. So those who are like, let's say from the streets, went to school, you know what I'm saying? From the very bottom to the top, they earned their way there. We're not seeing a lot of that, and I just, it disappoints me. We don't have, our version of a Steven Spielberg, right? That worked from point A to point B and actually got there, right? Worked their ass off to get where they're at. Instead, we have Junior. What's Cassidy's son? That little asshole. He's a writer.
John Kasdan.
Yeah, little shit. Like he
Yeah,
was
I know.
he handed shit.
I mean, yeah, he got handed stuff, and I thought that he was a terrible person. And then he responded to one of my tweets like a couple of years ago because I was saying terrible things about Solo, and he couldn't have been more cordial. And I was like, I really want to hate you, and you're making it real difficult.
Right.
Oh
Yo,
man,
but here's the thing with Solo, though. Honestly, God
What?
help me. I can't blame the person who got that piece of shit handed to them. It was just, that was one of those lose-lose situations. It's like, you get, what's his name? Got the script, and he goes, holy fuck, what do you want me to do with this, KK? I can't fucking
Right.
fix this. You just think I'm a fucking miracle worker over here.
And what should KK do? KK needs to let go of the steering wheel.
She's got to
She's
retire.
too drunk to drive, and let someone else drive now. Okay? That's the way the world works. That's what your generation was handed when you walked in the fucking door. Okay? It's called mentoring. Fucking learn it. You know, they're not mentoring. They're too busy trying to calculate their next move for the 401k pitch. You know, it's just bullshit. It really just pisses me off. And that's really what you're seeing. It's like we're seeing it everywhere. It's not just Hollywood. It's in politics. It's in, government in general. There's a mentorship. There's a process, of what do you call it? Cultivating new talent that was lost for a while because this generation was so big. You know what I mean? There was just so many of them. And they've been running the show for how many years? I don't know. Quite a long time. Quite a long time.
Since what, 2012? No, 2014? Talking about Star Wars, right?
I'm talking about all of it. But yeah, Star Wars.
You're talking about all of it?
Star Wars.
God, I don't know exactly then if you're
They've
talking
been
about
running the
all of
show
it.
for a very long time. I would say
I had narrowed it down to
fucking
Kathleen Kennedy driving Star Wars. Shut up, Zod.
Oh yeah, that woman. Oh God.
No, Shalana brought up the Lion King, and that was like a fucking Vietnam flashback. Don't get me started. And let me tell you what pissed me off.
Hold on. Get pissed off after I read this comment. Jamie Davis said they're doing it because nostalgia is huge for a reason. Those shows don't have the exact force diversity. They're about to force it in.
That's true. That's true. That is true. And it's just going to get more and more complicated. Sorry, go ahead, Zod.
That fucking movie.
Okay.
Lion King, okay.
Sorry. He sucked in air. That's when you know.
That fucking movie, Lion King, okay? These motherfuckers sat back and they made that soulless shell of a fucking movie. And then you cocksuckers, you motherfuckers, had the nerve to cut my favorite fucking song. You put in a new song because Queen Bee is in it. Queen Bee's gotta have a fucking song, right? She's Queen Bee. Everybody loves fucking Queen Bee, right? So she gets her own fucking solo. Yeah, I get this shitty song that doesn't even break top 100, okay? But they make fucking Be Prepared a fucking poem. Are you kidding me? And then they have the great idea. You know what would be great? We would love to see lions that have no expressions, because when you're in the fucking wilderness, a lion doesn't fucking emote. But let's make the whole fucking thing photorealistic. And then I have to deal with people coming out and going, you know what? That was a great movie. Thank you, asshole. You're the person responsible for the next fucking 50 remakes they're going to do, fucking up the rest of my childhood. Thank you very much. Go fuck yourself and the ticket, because you came in twice. You destroyed 2 kids' lives, bringing them to the shitty remake when you could have sat them down, brought the fucking DVD, or here you go on Disney Plus, get the fucking subscription, and guess what? You can put them in the great 90s cartoon version where they had emotion and they sang and they danced and they had fucking Be Prepared.
Yeah. I agree. The original cast was much better. You know what I'm saying? In the original, the animated, there's just a magic to animation. You know what I mean? Like I really appreciate. I don't like the. I'm not trying to be like I'm going to sound old. I don't care, but I like the old, like the Lion King original. I like the animation that you saw out of, you know, like Balto, for example, or All Dogs Go to Heaven, and you know, there's just this.
I
There's a
love
magic
that
to,
movie.
right? Like there's a nostalgic angle to it, but it's actually drawn, not computer generated. So there feels like there's more love and attentiveness to the characters and the movement of clothing. It's kind of like when you watch Tom and Jerry under, you know, there's this magic to it, you know. But when you get the oh, this is the new version, like the new DuckTales versus the original. What made the original awesome? I believe it was the animation, not so much, you know, the humor, but there were storylines and, you know, it was simple kind of shit. You know, some Disney afternoon any day over the crap they have now. It's just, it's a different world. You know, I get it. I know. You know, I know life moves on, but I love animation in general. I appreciate it a lot. I think this new version of animation to make it look as real as possible, it takes away something. It's like,
No, I only want it to look as real as possible when I'm watching something like the Avengers. I don't want it to look, I don't
I
want to see Roger Rabbit in the Avengers.
right, right.
Yeah,
Like,
and you know, it's not just the animation. My daughter comes over, right? And bless her soul, I love my child, but I was getting ready to take my child out because she puts on this fucking show and she's like, Dad, you're gonna love it. It's a Disney show. And I'm like, oh fuck me. Okay, what were we in for? So we put on this show, and I swear, as God is my witness, out of everything, even The Last Jedi, I have never in my life seen the worst, biggest pile of shit. I don't know what the fuck the name of the show was. I wish I did, but it was vampires that were in high school and they were friends with mortals. My first question is, how the fuck are they in the middle of daylight? Because, you know, they explode. But no, Disney reasons. Everything's magical. Fuck off, Disney. And so there's these vampires in high school, and these fucking kids are the most disrespectful little pricks to adults I've ever seen. And I go, great. My 14-year-old daughter at this point in her life is watching a show about high schoolers, and they're making the adults look like idiots. They're
Yeah.
making the teachers look absolutely fucking stupid. And there's vampires running around doing ridiculous. There was a scene where this kid was in a cage and these two girls were like saying some shit. I don't know. I was checking out in the middle of it. I was like in and out because it was
think
so
Lemon
fucking
Pie
dangerous.
has the answer for you in form of a question, like we're playing Jeopardy.
I think so. I don't know. It was so terrible. I've been trying to block it from my mind. She comes back over and she's like, hey, Dad, can we watch? I go, no, you are not allowed to pick anything anymore. I love you. I care about you, but stay away from the television. We will never be watching this as long as you are in this house.
Oh my God.
We will not watch whatever the fuck that was you put on for me. It took you to see good movies. We watched the original Indiana Jones together, child. Have you learned nothing from me? This is not entertainment.
Right.
Wait a second. You showed her all of the Indiana Jones movies already?
Oh yeah, she loved it, except for Crystal
No,
Skull. We don't talk about that.
No, okay.
Nobody does.
No, follow-up
That never
question.
happened.
Follow-up is, when did you show her the movies? Because I know for a fact that you show your child movies way too early.
What, like last week?
My God.
Well,
Yeah, like
no,
last week.
like you're like we're gonna watch. That's the first time that she watched it ever.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. I would have
No,
thought for
I
sure
mean,
you're like, hey, we're gonna watch this movie where this face melts off, and she'd be like, yeah, I turn 7 next week, Dad.
No. It was recently. Yeah, even I have my things. The whole face melt thing. I had to be careful with. And to answer Shalena, I'm looking forward to the Mighty Ducks because it is not a reboot. It's not a remake of the movie.
Where is
It's
this comment?
It's down
Right
after
here.
Rebecca.
I
Yeah,
got it.
I'm looking forward to it because it's not a reboot. It is not a remake. This is different. It's a continuation of the original designated story. To me, that doesn't qualify. And I hate when they say they're rebooting. They're not rebooting it. It's like Twin Peaks when they brought it back, The Return. It's a continuation of the original. Everybody aged. It's just a continuation of that original story. And if they do it right, fingers crossed, they could very well, they could be the Disney-esque kind of Cobra Kai thing. I mean, I'm going to hold off that judgment, but it could be a situation like that if they do it right. From what I've seen from the trailer, and it was only a minute, but it looks like it's, Coach Bombay is more of the mentor now. I like the Gilmore Girls, so I like Heather, whatever the hell her name is, Lauren Heather. There we go.
Oh my God! No! Absolutely fucking not! Not there. We go. Her name is Lauren Graham. What?
Okay, close enough.
Unbelievable! Unbelievable.
Anyways,
you're not going to come on my channel and just be spouting off random names. That is no one's name. I mean, there might be somebody out there named, what the fuck name did he just say, Squirrel? Lauren Heather?
Will be right back. Yes, but that's it.
That's okay. You said fucking Lauren Heather? Who the fuck is that? Or Heather Lauren? I have no idea. Anyway, Lauren Graham.
No, and from how I hear, they're going right after maybe I didn't know there was a fourth one, but I know this is supposed to take
I didn't know there was a fourth one either. That's okay. Yeah. Janie Davis saw Indiana Jones when she was younger than 7. God, that's scarier than watching E.T. the Extraterrestrial. God damn.
I'm gonna be honest. I do what Father Zod did for me. And we went to see that movie about the crocodiles. She loved it too. The crocodiles that get trapped in the thing with them. Crawl. I took her to see that. It was a great movie. She loved it. Not one nightmare. So proud of her.
Good.
There are no gators in Wisconsin.
I mean, yeah, we can run on that. Or my little girl's just a badass. She watches
No. Hold on. I was not saying that she was not a badass. I have met this child, and she's more of a badass than Zod is.
Lies. Yes. When I get too old to do this, she's gonna overthrow me and take over the channel.
Okay. Short story time. First time that Zod ever came to my house in the woods, it was him and his daughter and his mother. And for whatever reason, I don't know. I don't understand it. Like maybe somebody in the chat has the answer. Maybe Mad Squirrel has the answer. I don't know. Maybe someone has the answer. But for whatever reason, awesomeness skips a generation.
Oh shit. So mom's awesome, Zod's not. And then there's little Zod. What happened? No kidding.
Whippersnapper to a T.
Oh yeah, she's sassy. She is sassy. Well, Squirrel, you may not have heard this because you've been out for a while, but I had to go to the fucking school because apparently little boys can't keep their hands off girls in the schools. You can't touch anyone.
Is this about when your daughter like beat his ass? Like whoever was messing with her?
Yeah, she flipped him over her shoulder, and I had to go to the principal's office. And
I remember this. I was around for this.
Yeah, and I got I got kicked out of the school. I was the wrong one because I said, well, what did he do? I didn't say, what did she do? Because I know how the school system works. We know how the school system works. I go, what did she do that provoked her to flip a young boy over her shoulder? Because I know my child, and I know she's just not fucking going around flipping kids over her shoulder. I just can't visually picture this.
Right.
And they were like, well, he was just expressing,
Oh God.
He was just expressing himself by saying, oh, trying to be friendly and putting his hand on his shoulder. And I go, so my daughter, in response, expressed after she had vocally expressed not to fucking touch her.
Right.
She expressed physically to him now not to touch her. So where's the problem? And they saw me in my karate uniform. And this fucking principal and a bitch, and I want to use the C word, but I'm not going to, but she had the audacity.
She's a cunt.
Thank you. She had the audacity to look at me and think and go, well, given what you do you think maybe you're fostering an environment of violence? And you guys and you guys know how my temper is, and I've been good at this point. I hadn't cursed once, didn't say anything. I'm trying to be an adult. I'm trying to be fucking respectful and not my Zod persona in real life. But I looked at her and I said, are you fucking kidding me right now? And she goes, well, there's no need for that language. I go, no, I'm serious. Did you just fucking say that to me? I go, first of all, I have done talks for multiple schools to discourage bullying. I have worked with the police department. I have worked with the fire department. I have promoted community service in this shitty county as well as mine. And you have the audacity to sit back in your chair because I'm wearing my uniform, and I proudly help teach discipline and respect to these kids that you just let run fucking rampant in this school and talk to you whatever way you choose and their parents, because you guys say, let's fucking sit down and have a conversation with our kid because God forbid we lay down the law. No, little Johnny's got to have a fucking attorney and the fucking counselor present, and you got to work out the issues. No. So I teach these kids respect, and you have the fucking audacity to sit here and look me in the eye and ask me if I'm encouraging a fostering violence. This school, this person who, if they put their fucking hand on me, because at that time I didn't realize they called security, I will fucking go nuts, and I will break this person's arm if they get close to me, because I'm going to tell you something right now. My daughter didn't do anything wrong. How about you talk to that little prick sitting in the chair outside the office and tell their parents to tell little Jimmy over there not to fucking put his hands on random women who don't want to be touched. How about that? How about we enforce that fucking rule?
Exactly. Because really, that's the bottom line. There's no excuse for inappropriate grabbing or touching of another person, period. So your daughter did what she was supposed to do. If someone grabs you in a way that you've asked them not to and they still do it, well, people fall down on their keys all the fucking time. I don't see what happened.
And I couldn't believe it, because then I'm talking to her grandparents and my daughter was getting a little snippy at times. So I go, hey, designated person, what's up with this? Well, the same fucking geniuses, and I'm just going to call her principal bitch, had given a suggestion, because my daughter had gone through a lot with my ex and she was going through a lot of emotional stuff. And so she was saying her big fucking solution was, well, what you need to do is you need to sit down with her and let her make her own decisions. And I go, whoa, no. Slow down, child. Here's how this is going to go. I love you to death. But in this house, we are in a dictatorship, and I rule the fucking castle. Out there, it's the democracy. In this house, it's a dictatorship. Okay, we're not going to be having a fucking convention to work out our feelings. I'm going to say go to bed, or eat your food or whatever, and you'll say yes, Dad. And then this ship will run smoothly. I'm not going to fucking sit here and have a fucking meeting about whether or not you're going to eat your food. That shit ain't happening, Captain.
Yeah, no.
Oh, Shalana said, I had a boy fall on his nose into my fist in high school.
Oopsie. He fell down.
He fell down, gravity carried into my fist.
So sad.
God,
what a tragedy. Oh my.
Whoops.
Oopsie.
Didn't mean to put that there.
Yeah, I mean,
Stone Cold Jeremy said he has the same problem.
These schools seem to here's the big secret for all of you guys, and I'm sure there's some parents there. Here's a big secret that they won't tell you. These schools don't want to do their fucking job. So you know what they want to do? They want to prescribe medication. They want to have the kid come in and talk about their feelings. And I'm all for that. Counseling is a good thing. Maybe I should have taken some counseling. I could still take it now probably. But there are certain things, and it's a reason why this younger generation is on their fucking keyboards, and we have to deal with these hashtags because their parents never told them, hey, you're fucking ridiculous right now. Why the fuck are you hashtagging this? Go to fucking bed right now. No, you got little Jimmy up on his keyboard. He's not fucking fact checking anything because he's a fucking kid. And he's going, oh my God, someone in Hollywood did this. And so I got to go on my keyboard immediately and blah, 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 blah. And there's no sense of us being able to be parents anymore because God forbid you raise your voice. You've got some kind of fucking superhero in a store going, well, should you really be talking to your child like that? And be like, well, shouldn't you mind your fucking business? Because you don't have any kids and you're just fucking telling me right now how to parent my child. So how about you shut the fuck up and move it along?
And God, and that's not free. It's like these are the parents that talk about
Matt Squirrel.
free. Yeah.
You want to read that comment and then say what you were going to say?
Oh, and nobody should ever lay their hands on a youngster. That's the bottom fucking line right there. Really. Keep your hands to yourself. We learned that, in kindergarten?
We used to.
But like these free range parents, right? There's, and I'm okay with like encouraging independence, right? And there's a healthy way of doing that, but there seems to be more extreme type of free range parenting where they're just like, let them do whatever they want. They'll put themselves to bed, that kind of shit. And that's extreme forms of it. And that's been part of yes, it's important to know what your kids are feeling, having communication, having open door of communication, but you're not going to, what do you call it? You're however old and you're just going to suddenly become my friend instead of my child. Like, where the fuck are you living? No. Oh, you're my best friend. I swear to God, there's a healthy age, right, where you can become friends with your child. It's called when they have their own children and they're the fuck out of your house. That's when you can become friends with your children. But until that day comes, you are the parent. And even then, you're still the parent, So it's like being a parent is responsibility and being the bad guy. Also, like I got into it with the beef once. And he said to me, well, didn't it bother you when I get mad at you? Like when I was a kid? And I said, no, you have to understand when you would get angry at me, it was like a refreshing cup of brand new iced tea to me. It was delicious. Please be angry at me. Brings me joy. Your anger fills me with joy. It really does. Because I know I'm doing the right thing. You don't, because you're pissed at me because you got caught. That's fantastic. It's refreshing. He's like, that's morbid. I'm like, I don't care. I really don't. I said, that's refreshing as well. Your disdain and disgust brings me joy because in the end, you learned a lesson. Like I told you the story about me leaving him at the thrift store that time, or no, the Salvation Army, because he
Yep.
was acting like an ass. Like, okay, so for the chat, right? My eldest, when he was little, he was being an ass to me. He was about 4 or 5 years old. I think he was 5, somewhere in there. Maybe 4. I think he was 4. So I knew a friend that worked over at a Salvation Army, and they have like those trailers they set up in the back for donations. Well, my son was being an ass that particular day. He was going through a phase, and I used to drive like a Geo Metro, a tin can on wheels.
Oh,
So
my mother had one.
yeah, it was like a little 4-door Geo Metro, and so every time he was kicking the back of the driver's seat because there's really no middle seat to put the car seat in. You know, there's no middle seat belt in those old cars. Okay, yay, I'm old. So anyway, he was sitting behind me, kicking the back of my seat. It was starting to affect how I was driving, and I said, "You better stop it." And I gave him the look, and I said, "Do it again, and I'm going to donate your ass." So he kicked the back of my seat again, just being a little shit. So I pulled over to the Salvation Army. My friend was working in the trailer. I was like, fantastic. So I went over, I said, "Hey, do you guys take bad kids?" And he's like, "Hell yeah, we do. Bring them on in." So I write on the receipt, I'm going to park the car. I'll be right back. So I hand it to my friend. He goes, "Yeah." The beef didn't know that I was really good friends. I went to high school with this guy. So I went and parked my car. I come back around the corner. I'm walking. And I come around the corner, I see the beef in there. He's crying, "I don't want to be donated." And he's losing his mind. And my friend's like, "Oh, I don't know." And so I come up and he goes, "Oh, wait, hey, by the way, we're really full. I just checked, the files or whatever. And we have way too many bad kids this month. You might have to bring them back." I said, "Okay, not a problem." So I sign on the receipt. Thank you, and, took the beef home. And after that, every time we went by any Goodwill donation trailer, that boy was an angel for years. So like Goodwill, Salvation Army, any of those donation trucks, fantastic. So yeah, you got to get creative with your parenting, and you're not their fucking friend. That comes later, son of a bitch.
Yeah. I mean, I had a situation where younger Zod tried to pull a fast one on Mama Zod, and PB knows how Mama Zod is to me this day, and I'm a fucking grown-up, and I tell my daughter this all the time because she tries shit, although Mama Zod's a little bit more lenient with her. Yes, if I sound jealous, I am, because the ass whoopings I got anyways. So we're
You're not supposed to whoop the ass of your grandchildren. The hell is wrong with you?
Oh, tell my grandpa that.
No.
Mama
I'm not
Zod is
saying
mellowed
that.
out.
I'm not saying that you can't. You're not necessarily supposed to.
Right.
So, I was a kid. We went to Toys R Us. You guys remember that? The good old days. And
oh yeah.
Mama
I don't
Zod
want to
said,
grow up.
Mama Zod said to younger Zod, "We're going to go into this store, and I'm going to let you know right now, you better not ask for anything." Well, you know how kids are. I'll never forget the day. It was the He-Man set, man. It was the skull, all right. With Skeletor, and
yeah.
Castle Gray skull. Oh my God. All that went out the window. Well, I decided today was the day I was going to be a bold dictator. I threw myself on the ground and started kicking and screaming. So Mama Zod looks at this at the cash register. Oh yeah, it was one of the things I remember, obviously, because Mama Zod took me, grabbed my ear, pulled me out of the store, and before we even got to the car, she spanked my ass in the middle of the parking lot. And then this lady stops and looks and has that face like she's about to turn and say something. And my mom, if you've ever, oh my God, the look she gives could chill Satan's heart. She just looked and she goes, "If you don't start walking to your car in approximately 1 minute, I will turn around and I will be whooping your ass too." And the lady just turned, looked, and walked away.
Smart move, man. Power to your mom on that. I'll tell you right now. Nowadays, you can't do that. I mean, here I see it a lot because You just do. Very Hispanic community. You're gonna see that all the time. I kind of just go a little salute and on my way. I don't give a damn as long as you're not beating the hell out of your kid. Obviously, a lot of times it's just like a swat on the butt. You see, I'm like, yep, I've seen that. Back when I was a kid, it was we're going to the bathroom. I'm like, no. In a public place. No, I don't need to go to the bathroom. Yeah, we do. We gotta go to the bathroom. I'm like, no, I know what that meant.
Dude, I can see you in the fucking road out there. What are you doing?
Uh-oh. The dogs. Oh, my.
Oh, no.
Unbelievable.
Hi, Elizabeth. And Elizabeth says, Zod, you needed that whooping. Oh, my.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He still
know?
still needs them.
I'm scrolling back a little bit. Rebecca said a parent's job is to raise them. Children can't raise themselves. Exactly. Janie asked me how much do I pay for his therapy. You know what? Surprisingly, I don't. He's fine. I think he survived. Every now and then he gets a little. Although he is a jumpy little man, he really is. Even though he's taller than me, I don't care. I make that boy paranoid. That's my job.
I mean, who in your family isn't taller than you?
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
I know things.
I know I'm very, very short, but like Beef is like almost 6 foot. He's a little bitter, but he's almost 6 foot tall. He blames it on me, like I did something. Whatever. But yeah, like he knows. He knows though. Like you know how many years it took me for him to figure out the look. The mom look that you're talking about, like. The look. Every mom has that look. We all know the look. We've had either a parent, a grandparent, somebody has the look, and you're about to get your ass handed to you if you keep doing whatever you're doing.
Wait, I'm supposed to figure that look out?
Oh yeah, the one right before you died.
You just know it in your soul.
I mean, I didn't have the problems that you people had. My mother's not a freaking 3rd-degree black belt.
Oh yeah. Man, let me tell you, when I got really spicy and I became, this is how I got my 1st degree. So thank you, Mama Zod. Because I was like, oh, I've had this whooping before. You guys aren't beating me. But anyways, she would take us down. We had a fucking auditorium and my mom knew the person so we can use it anytime. And there'd be those moments, I got into high school, thought I was the shit. And she'd go, get your gear on. And I'd be like, fuck, Ma, I was just, nope, grab your sparring gear. You're a big man, right? We're going to see how much you've learned, how much you're lifting, right? You're bad. And I'd be like, no, Mom, I can't lift shit. My friends were over. She'd take me to the auditorium. And PB, you've seen her. Well, you would never know it by looking at my mother, but she moves like fucking lightning. I have never in my life seen a person, even to this day. She is the kind of person, she will be in front of you and then just step to the side and be fucking behind you. And it is the most unsettling thing ever. And so I would be beaten from one end of the auditorium to the other. And she goes, we're done. You're not ready to challenge me yet? And I go, nope, never will be.
Right. That's the part that's funny too, is like when you're young, like you don't realize like the strength of a parent. My grandma was that person. Like she was the person I knew. I was like, uh-oh. Because she just like out of nowhere, I get a pop in the mouth if I was being an ass. And it would be like a quick pop, the kind that you're just like, what? Like what the like what the fuck? Like what was that? And then you're shocked. When you're a kid, it's more about shock value, and that's what you learn with your own. You don't need to like really truly spank per se. It's the noise. Like when they were little, like very, very little, and they have the diaper on, pop them in the butt, and they'd be like, oh, the shock and awe. That was always fun.
Shock and awe tactics.
Oh my God. I can't believe she did that. She raised her voice at me, Oh,
yeah. Man. I mean,
Rebecca says she's sorry, but she's really tired. Oh,
take care,
Rebecca. We're not going to be going too much longer, anyways, because I have to go deliver papers soon.
Oh, yeah, I got to lay down soon too.
I know, this has
Yeah,
been
and
the
I've got
greatest
a
15
actual
minutes
dart.
ever.
I know, right? I looked at the clock and I went, "Oh shit!" Calm Squirrel's passed out on the couch currently, snoring.
But
Aha.
about the look though, it's funny. I thank my mom for a lot of things, but the greatest thing she ever gave me was the skill to pick out the look, because now I've taken away bitchy's edge. She just winds up the eyes and I go, you know what, dear? We'll do whatever you want to do, because when I push it to a point, I see the eyes start to go from like right to left, and she does that sharp turn. I go, oh, I recognize this. And it's probably why my mom likes her so much. Like, I was like, oh boy, a battle of the looks. Like, she has the same exact look. So she'll look at me and I go, nope, not going to push this issue any further.
Man,
So,
that's parents. So there's that look. Absolutely, it'll silence a room. It'll do all kinds of shit. It might actually bring up the dead. You're like, oh, you hear some mummy shit happening because the look, Moms have a magic look. They do, or grandma or dad. Everyone has a parent that has that one look, and you're like,
Oh,
trouble is
okay.
afoot.
I'm glad that you clarified that. I was like,
Yeah.
my mother didn't have a look, and then you said dad, and I was like,
No,
oh,
dad. Oh yeah.
yeah, because it
There's a look.
was okay. Don't make me go upstairs and get your father, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'll shut up now.
Oh yeah. Like there's that. You're like, and sometimes they just have to look at you a certain way. You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna die. Yeah, this is the night. It's on. Yeah, it's funny when they're little, and like kids are like not. Once you have your own, then you're like, I get it. I get it. I don't know.
No, I'm not doing that. I know what I was like. And then I talked to my parents, and then apparently they told me not too long ago that I was not a nightmare. And I thought that I was a nightmare. And I was like, son of a bitch, I'm really not having fucking kids now.
Oh yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
they're
Like
going to be like me. And I thought I was a nightmare.
oh,
That's not
kids
happening.
are like little karma balls, man. You're like, oh look, aren't they? They're you think, oh, aren't they cute? And then they become like they have their moods. You're like, son of a bitch. And what's funny is like I remember I was talking to this new parent, right? And she was just like, my child is so difficult. And, she's talking very proper about it. Like he's just, he's so rambunctious. She's putting up the game face, the public game face with me. And I was like, uh-huh. And she's like, he's getting into everything and he's doing these things. And I'm like, you mean he's being an asshole? And I said, kids can be assholes, like absolutely. I mean, my kid was an asshole for a few years when they were a toddler. Like, oh, like I remember middle Squirrel got into he's classic autistic, but he was sneaky despite it. It doesn't matter, kids are kids, man. He picked up a big container of flour and decorated his room. I had no idea. He stole it out of the pantry and it looked like snow. I have never been so fucking pissed in my life because that was everywhere. It was everywhere. And he's sitting there in a stack of flour. He looked like Casper sitting there. And I was like, what are you doing whiteface? This is interesting. Like there's a whole new level in my house of just powder everywhere. And I was pissed. What am I going to do? At that point, I'm like, reprimand him. I'm like, it's bad, blah, blah, blah. He didn't get it. And I was like, yeah, I love kids. They're karma. Children are nothing but karma. They always comes back. So I think of all the shit I did. And I'm like, doom is afoot. I know.
I'm there with you, Squirrel. And on top of that, I got a young lady, and Mama's Zod's just like, oh, you wait. We're still not at that point, that magical point. She's getting close to it. And I'm like, well, this is where I'm going to pass the buck, because at this point, due to science, I am not equipped to handle the questions that she's going to need answered. It's not my wheelhouse. I mean, my policy as far as that's gone has been to avoid that.
Are you making your lunch right now?
I mean, a villain's got to eat.
Jesus. I was like, I heard a beep, beep, and a slight hum. I was like, fucking microwave.
My God.
Unbelievable. He's like,
Megan,
I need to keep making my point, but I'm hungry.
let's see
Jesus.
here.
Janie Davis
Janie.
said, my mom and I can't intimidate each other, but I follow commands before either of us realized that an order happened.
Yep, that's a whole nother level right there. You're like, uh-oh. Inside each other's heads. Stone Cold Jeremy said, with my mom, she would call out 2 other names before saying yours. There were 4 of us growing up. My God, that's a lot of names. I do that with 3, and I'm like, I go through the rounds, and eventually I hit one. I'm like, oh yeah, that one, that kid.
I have heard that happen in the green room.
Yeah.
I've heard her do it before. And she's like,
Yep.
one of you, just one
Yeah.
of, I just need one.
I can't. I feel so bad. I'm like, you, small one. Yes, you. Come here.
Over here. Now.
I'll forget, because Hoagie Squirrel's the youngest squirrel. And she's the sensitive heart about everything. So I have to be careful the way I, speak to her sometimes because she's hitting that great age of puberty. So everything's very emotional. I'm like, oh, that's great. My husband, Calm Squirrel, was very much in denial about that she was hitting that age until she was standing in the hallway crying because her jeans were too long. I was like, what? And he's like, she's in the hall crying because her jeans are too long for her. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, that's exactly it. I'm like, well, enjoy. There's what I told you. I warned you. I told you. Here we are. She'll be crying over all kinds of shit now. And she does. She sits on, what was it? She sat on the couch a couple weeks ago looking at videos. No, this was a month ago. And she was watching kitty videos. And it was about rescue cats, and all she was doing was crying. I'm like, stop watching this shit. I'm like, what are you doing?
But I can't, Mom.
Right.
The kitties.
Exactly. I'm like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, go watch a cartoon or read. God knows what she'll read at this point. I wanted to read something emotional. Oh, Hoagie Squirrel. She got her nickname a long time ago. Hoagie, when she was born very early. So she was only 3 pounds. And she was fine, healthy-wise and everything. But Calm Squirrel was like, oh, she looks like a hoagie sandwich. Because we would wrap her up like a little burrito like you do with babies, bundle them up. And she looked like a little hoagie sandwich. That's how small she was. So that's where the nickname came from. So that's why we call her Hoagie Squirrel. Doon, doon, doon.
And thank you, Mega Jetty, for that comment, because you said I passed or got to 1K. I appreciate that.
When did you hit your official 1K pass?
Oh God, I hit it, but then I put out a post. I'm like, I'm at 1K, but I'm not gonna say I'm at 1K because YouTube had been being a fucking dick. I was at 987, or no, I started 999. I'm like, okay, guys, 10 more subs, let's get it, right? And then I come back in, and it's like 989, and I'm like, okay, all right, cool, still not a big gap. And then 987.
Pause. Squirrel, you heard that his first number was 999, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Continue, Zod.
So
yes.
You hear? When did you hit your 1K? I guess then officially.
She asked you such a simple question.
Come on, it's me.
I know. That's where I was like, well, we'll ask this question again.
So I think it was last week. Shit, I'd have to check the Twitter because everything's been blending together.
Right.
But I mean, PB, you're supposed to know this shit.
Oh, so from the sound of it, he hit it last week. Twitter.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I'm still at 990. You're like, oh, no, you're at 1,000. I go, oh shit, and I looked, And then I kept looking all day because I thought it was just gonna fucking disappear,
Right.
So like looking nervous. And then I found out that TubeBuddy just stops fucking tracking the numbers now. It just gives me 1K, and then 1.01 is 1010. They don't give me the fucking numbers, and I have to rely on the fucking the YouTube studio. But the studio's never fucking accurate with its numbers. So it's a fucking crapshoot now. But yeah, when I got it, I didn't even know, and it was crazy. It was on Loki's show.
That's cool. That's really cool because I know that's a hard. It's
Oh my
hard
god!
getting.
Oh my god!
Huh?
I'm sorry. You asked him when he hit it. He told half a story. I cut him off. He told the second half of the story. The entire time, the answer was, "I got it when I was on Loki's show." Are you fucking kidding me? Right.
You're welcome.
Like, oh my god.
Hey, but here you are.
Here we are for
landed that story just like boom, like that.
Like, yeah, I mean, here we are at the end of the show.
Because it's not easy. It's hard. It's hard building up channels. It takes time, and especially when there's a lot of other crap that gets in the way of that. I think it's funny. I mean, where you're at now, you know what I mean? Like,
yep.
It's like this is your journey. You should have a Hallmark movie. You should put one together for your channel.
Holy shit, yeah, because if you guys remember, after the exodus of us villains from #Phantom Menace, I fucking lost 100 subs that night. It's just like, boom, gone. I was at 300, bam, back down to 200. Go fuck yourself. You're like, okay, we rise together.
I lost like 15, and it took a week.
Yeah, it took a year to get me.
Jesus Christ. That's ridiculous. And on that ridiculous note, we need to end. Wait, what is this question?
I heard Zod's number is 999, so why is his birthmark upside down?
Oh.
Well,
you're the devil.
You have to put that mystery together yourself. I'm not going to give away all the secrets.
Bull crap if you don't. You are the worst spoiler on the planet. It's like if you want to talk about a show and you're like, oh, I'm going to start watching this, don't tell Zod that you're about to start watching something. He'll be like, oh yeah, it's really awesome when this happens. That'll be the first thing he says to you. Unbelievable. But yeah. I'd like to thank everybody for sticking with us for how long? Shut up, Zod. Christ. Like, no, what are you trying to say to me?
Oh, shit.
You said show. Speaking of which, you do realize, right, with your epic Twin Peaks saga, you do realize there's a whole movie and a third season that's not on Netflix.
Yes,
so you're gonna
we already had that conversation, guy. Unbelievable. Like we had that explicit conversation where you were like, you got to watch the movie when you're done with those 2 seasons on Netflix, and then you're gonna have to find the return somewhere. I was like, okay, I already know this. You ridiculous bastard.
With the magic of the internet, that should not be a problem.
No, it won't be a problem at all. You know what's a problem? You know what a serious problem is? Getting him to shut the hell up when you're trying to wrap the show up and you want to do it in less than, 30 minutes the way that he does it. It's just trying to thank everybody who is still here in the chat. You see all the names that are here? I see Elizabeth. I see Janie Davis, Mega Jetty, Shalena. Who else is still here? Lemon Pie said that he's always here, even if he's not commenting. So if I didn't say his name, I feel like he'd say something now and be like, I'm still watching, you bastards.
Stone Cold Jeremy.
Stone Cold Jeremy's still here.
PH, a.k.a. Karen.
Karen?
Yeah. And
Says
then
it's been great fun. Well, that's
Rebecca's gone for the
fantastic.
evening. But
Yeah,
very
I said goodbye to her.
but she did a good job in the chat. And
Whoa. No, I don't necessarily. Wait, I clicked on the wrong one because it moved. Damn it. There we go. No, I don't necessarily, but I have to because I have to go deliver the paper.
and then
Like,
Shalena. Yay.
so that's what we got to do. So thanked everybody who came, and
Jamie Vick,
thank you,
if she's
Mad
awake.
Squirrel, if she's still here. Yeah, she might be. You never know. And then I know, I know there's going to be a few people that watch later. Oh, there she is.
Yay. There she is. Sorry, there's a delay on the comment chat on the other side. I was actually scrolling to make sure.
I know it takes a moment for it to pop up on me. I was like, come on. And there it was. Fantastic. And yeah, I know there'll be one or two people that watch it later because for some reason people watch these things after the fact. I don't know why. I mean, I was being a narcissist and watching it after the fact because I was watching through the comments because obviously I didn't have to watch the screen because it's just freaking icons talking to each other. And I
Right.
was like, oh man, I missed all of these comments in the chat when I was talking or when I was paying attention to some other comment on Twitter or something like that. I was like, damn it, missing way too much. Unbelievable. But, that is the hassle of doing the job, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
I'm not an expert yet. Nobody's an expert.
No.
But yeah. Zod, you wanna say something stupid on the way out? Because I know you're going to.
Actually, no, not really. I gave plugs across. Oh God, this is gonna sound bad. I gave my plugs across various channels today, so
Okay.
I'm good.
I'm gonna add Mad Squirrel's link to the description once I get done here. Because I didn't expect her to be on the show, so it wasn't in there. But it's gonna be in
I
there
saw you
later.
were streaming. I was like, oh shit, PB's streaming. Because sometimes I'll catch it, but it's usually after the fact. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, so you're one of the people. I knew it.
Yeah, I'll pop in there. Like, I'll go and grab one of the delayed runs. So, like, oh, okay. So.
Okay. All right. Well,
thanks,
thank you,
Shalena.
everybody, for watching. Oh, was that?
Yeah, I was just saying thanks to Shalena. She said to have a great night. # Supreme Ruler Zod. # pop culture PB. # Mask World. So much fun. Quack quack.
Ducks fly together.
Oh, Mega
Work
Jetty.
up.
I'll give you a message back later, Mega Jetty. Probably tomorrow morning and check in. But yes, we're fine here. I'm in South Texas, but yeah. But thank you for sending me a DM, and because he's always stayed in touch with me and stuff, even when I'm MIA. So
Nice.
But anyway, yeah, you know where my channel is. I haven't put out a video in a while because I've just been on hiatus, but I hope to come back and pop into streams again and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
thank you for having on, PB. I really appreciate it.
Anytime. You know it.
Awesome.
Zod,
All right, good night, everybody.
not so much.
Oh, Jesus.
Good night, everybody.